You can tell how much the kid just loves the game. And this is John Gast, who will face that lineup. Not a very impressive ERA at 5.53, but he's won 7 out of 10 decisions this year and struck out 61 in 68 in the third innings.
He's 91 to 93. He's taken baseball and turning to a professional. He's drafted in the 6th round by the Angels, but he dropped 20 pounds over the summer. Coming to this year, he looks a lot more like a pitcher with a pitcher's body now, and it got rewarded with that 6th round draft pick.
Pena will lead it off. TCU has tried several guys to the top of the order this season. They really never settled on anybody, but Pena wanted the job here in postseason, so he's gotten it. Comes in hitting .317. One of the coaches said you can't stand to have him on the bench because he talks too much, so he's always in the field.
He's a very engaging young man. TCU is staying at the same hotel that we are, and Jim Schlossnagle got a text from the young man that said, put Tonto in there. That's his nickname. And he's got his, if he ever gets his helmet off today, we'll see his Omahawk. Got a mohawk.
Skied to right field. Ramsey deep at the wall and right beside the 335 mark. Made the catch. Pena with a wind-driven fly ball that nearly got out of here.
Yeah, James Ramsey cruises back for this one, but it's because of the wind. The first fly ball of the day. These guys haven't been on the field. You have to remember that they didn't take BP because of the rain-shortened game that we had to come back and play earlier today, so they didn't get to take fungos or batting practice on the field.
There's the Omahawk.
Oh, there it is. A nice young man rode up in the elevator with him after the loss yesterday, but the whole team had their chins up. This is a bunch of guys that have a big heart, and they can't wait for this second opportunity at FSU.
You'd look good with that hairstyle.
Thank you.
Brian Holiday. Coaches call him the best catcher in the country by far. He's a 6th round pick of the Tigers. He wants to catch in the pros. Loves to be in on the action every pitch. 14 home runs, 49 RBIs. Haven't found anything the kid can't do, and he's got all the tools. Fastball inside from Gast. You see the ball coming out of the sun into the shadows. We'll have that for another couple of innings, and until about the 5th, it's going to be a nightmare in right field on line drives. Holiday was on his way to first, called back. Umpires love that.
He'll grind back in there. The umpires love this kid as much as we do watching him. Okay, caught the corner, but come on back. Get in there and grind it out some more. At our meeting this morning, he had his Tiger hat on after being drafted by him.
3-2. Pop up on the infield. And Jace Boyd, the first baseman, makes the catch. Here's the way the Seminoles will play defensively. McGee in left, Holt, a real good center fielder, Ramsey in right, around the infield from left to right, Sherman Johnson, Stephen Cardulo, a veteran shortstop, Devin Travis, and Jace Boyd. Rafael Lopez is behind the dish. Jason Coates stands in after the first 2 were retired.
It's a little different start than the first time these two teams met. TCU scored 5 runs on 6 hits in the bottom of the first inning in their first meeting. They beat them 8-1.
And after that game, a lot of people said, you know, the 2 best teams I've seen so far, TCU and UCLA.
UCLA is sitting pretty 2-0 with their pitching in line.
It's not that you can't come from behind out of the losers bracket. But since they went to this format, 18 of the last 20 champions started 2-0. So obviously it's a big leg up.
Well, you just think about being able to rest your bullpen, your key arms. The other people are usually have to go to their 5th and 6th and 7th pitchers on their staff. So it really tests the depth of the pitching staff.
Breaking pitch hit wide of third. Sherman Johnson to his left. Throws and 3 up, 3 down. Nice start for John Gast on a perfect day for baseball at Rosenblatt. Welcome back to Omaha, Nebraska, the College World Series. We'll go to the bottom of the first and take a look at our Capital One starting lineups. For the Seminoles of Florida State, Tyler Holt will start it off in center field. Sherman Johnson, the third baseman. Mike McGee's the left fielder. James Ramsey in right. Cardullo, the shortstop. Jace Boyd at first. Sean Gilmartin, the DH in this one. Devin Travis at second base, and Rafael Lopez is the catcher. And Tyler Holt's the guy that gets everything started.
He is. He's one of the 3 captains on this team. They describe him as a throwback type player, 10th round draft pick by the Indians. As a freshman, he got on base in his first 55 games.
Stephen Maxwell has put up some numbers this year, 11-2 with a 2.41 ERA. He has a streak of 26 in the 3rd innings without giving up an earned run. You know about those streaks.
Appreciate that, partner. I'll tell you what, this kid on the mound is a very confident young man.
Mike Martin says, as Tyler Holt goes, we go. Kid who gets on base immediately takes off. He has 30 steals this year and 33 tries. Maxwell pours one in there. Holt has been hot in postseason, has hit 400 since the NCAA tournament started, has a couple of home runs and 7 RBIs. More power than you might expect out of a leadoff hitter. And he's out of Gainesville, Florida, of all places, the home of the Gators. And there's Mike Martin. The only thing missing on that wonderful resume is the College World Series championship. And he is just such a delight to be around and talk to. Fastball popped down the left field line and has enough to get in the seats.
We're talking to Mike Martin and asking him to describe Tyler Holt. He said, you know, a throwback type player. And I said, well, give me another example. He goes, well, his dad's head of the SWAT team. You got it?
Breaking pitch, and that's foul. Mike Martin, part of an exclusive club. Only 3 college head coaches have ever won more than 1,600 games. Augie Garrido of Texas, Gene Stevenson of Wichita State. It was great to see him the other day. He stopped by the booth, one of the great coaches of all time, and Mike Martin. Fastball struck him out. Guy took something off of that one. Augie Garrido, of course, #1 in 42 years in Texas, 1,768 victories. Gene Stevenson, only 44 behind in 33 years at Wichita State. And Mike Martin. Fastball to Sherman Johnson. Kid they love to tell stories about because he was a walk-on. They gave him a chance, and he has just come through for them big time. They had no plans to start him this year, but he just forced him to. Played his way out in the lineup, and he hasn't left.
As a freshman, came in at 148 pounds. He's put on like 30 pounds. Was scheduled to be just maybe a utility player at second and third base. He hit some balls early in the year, and they said, we got to get him in there every day.
And in the tournament, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. And he's hitting .331 on the year. He's from Tampa, and was the most outstanding player in the regional tournament. That's fouled out of play, and nobody so far getting around on the deliverings of Stephen Maxwell.
He's doing a nice job changing his speeds already. Plus, he's got the aid of the sun to shadow look, so it's a little harder to read the pitch right now, especially first time around when you're just getting used to somebody. You see that ball disappear into your screen. You see the light of the ball right away, and then all of a sudden it disappears. And remember, a baseball's hard to hit when it does something different the last 15 feet. And at 60 feet 6 inches, that ball's starting to disappear more at 30 feet than 15. That's why it's going to be tough to hit.
Did you try to throw more fastballs when you had that situation?
You try and throw balls that end up at a different place than where they start. So keeping the ball down is key because it's on a downward trajectory, so that when the hitter sees it at one level out there in the sunlight, when it arrives at the hitting area, it's a different level. And then if you can make it change a little bit of direction or spin, like a slider compared to a sinker, really hard to pick up because the spins are alike. It's kind of tight.
3-2 hit to deep right center field, way back. The wind's got that one, and it is gone. Sherman Johnson with his 10th home run. That's why they can't get him out of the lineup.
Take a good hard look at this home run swing and the height of the pitch when it leaves Stephen Maxwell's hand, and when it arrives in the hitting area, it doesn't change planes. It stays right up there at the same level almost. So a high fastball stays a high fastball, and he does the proper thing with it. He puts a nice smooth swing on it with that wind blowing out to right here. That is out of here easy, and the bench loves it.
So important to get ahead, particularly in an elimination game. That just really tightens the screws on the other team. And now Mike McGee at 329. And Maxwell misses low, 1-1. Only a 41st round pick of the Diamondbacks, which he hits this deep left field into the wind. It doesn't matter. That thing is into a 15-mile-an-hour wind, and it was gone anyway. Back-to-back jacks against Stephen Maxwell, who had not given up an earned run in 26 2/3.
Well, take a look, sun to shadows, but again, it stays level and up. Maxwell knew it was gone when it was hit, but I wasn't sure at all. This probably should have went about 15 rows. It only ends up about 3. And when it's on its way down, it's coming down straight down because that wind is beating it up. And Mike Martin, he stayed off elimination against Florida, and here he's got a 2-0 lead in the first.
He has seen so many things go wrong in so many different ways out here trying to win a College World Series, that anytime things are going right for FSU, you have to think to yourself, you know, it's about time this guy actually got a break instead of a bad hot ground ball that beats it. Of course, if you're a TCU fan, you're not going to think that way. As much as you like Mike Martin, it's, hey, we're here to win, not to help somebody else out. Back-to-back home runs, and now James Ramsey. Line right at the first baseman, Matt Curry, 2 out. Well, that was the first ball that's actually been hit in play that the defense could get to. Coach Schultz and Rivera across the outfield. They tied for first in their conference in fielding percentage. Whitty, Featherston, Pena, and Curry, and the All-American Brian Holiday behind the plate. So 3 hard hit balls in a row against Maxwell after an opening strikeout, and now Cardillo, the shortstop, stands in. His offensive numbers are down this year, but still an outstanding player. Only 276, but as a shortstop, he's an All-American.
And that's a long way from being a walk-on like Sherman Johnson. You think about the young man who hit the home run to right field was a walk-on. This guy, they liked his athleticism as a walk-on, said let's give him a chance. And here he is now batting 5th in the College World Series.
Well, they told us the wind was only going to be 15 miles an hour, but I'm telling you what, it is about half a gale to right field right now. And that one starched right up the middle for a base hit.
Starched. I like that word.
That's how you want your shirts, and that's how you want your line drive.
Extra starch on that one.
And Maxwell has proven not to be a mystery in this first inning. This is a kid, as we said, 11 and 2, 2.41. Runner goes to throw to second. He got a tremendous jump. Cardullo, who had stolen 20 of 21 bases, is now 21 out of 22, and he swiped that on Maxwell. Holiday didn't have a chance.
Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do, to run on Brian Holiday. Holiday gets it down there as quick as possible, but really he has no chance. He's off and running a great jump. You think it takes about 3.3 seconds to get down there to second base. The pitcher needs to unload it in about 1.3. The catcher needs to get it down there in about 2, and then it's bang bang. But he had too good a jump to get it down there in time.
Even with a perfect throw from Holiday, he's in there by half a step. Maxwell on that great run, but that's over. He has been hammered after an opening strikeout. We've had 2 home runs, a line out, and a solid single to center.
That's over 4+ starts, and the streak began after a home run. And now a home run has ended it.
Ran Pena in there at second base for a pickoff play. TCU may have the largest assortment of pickoff plays and trick plays of any team you have ever seen. And many of them have already been successful. And particularly with a guy like Holiday behind the plate, he's willing to throw anywhere, anytime. Picked a guy off second the other day. By a step and a half he picked him off. And nearly had him a second time. A couple of innings later. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Boyd. Line drive. Featherston, nice job backing
Yes, he
up.
got it.
Gets a good hop and throws him out. Florida State jumps on top in the first. Sherman Johnson starts it with a home run to right. Mike McGee the home run to left. 2-0 Seminoles. The mecca of college baseball, and here's how TCU got here. They had arguably the toughest road coming out of the Mountain West. They were 3-0 in the regionals and then faced the ultimate test, going to the Super Regional against Texas in Austin, a team that was #1 much of the year. And they beat them in 3 games, the same place where they lost a 2 out of 3 series last year that denied them the trip here to Omaha. But there was no denying them this year.
Well, they definitely wanted to get here, that's for sure, to come to heaven on earth for college baseball players, but they feel like the distractions here in Omaha are outside the ballpark were very tough against Texas in their own ballpark. The crowds were very, very hard.
John Gass now staked to a 2-run lead, and he begins the second against Matt Curry. Curry hitting .342 this year, leads the club in home runs, has 17, has driven in 60. That's almost an RBI a game. I mean, this translated into major league numbers is like 165 driven in.
It's one of the more dominant years you're going to see if it was big league transition. You're right. Very disciplined hitter with power.
Struck him out, first out of the inning. And the first strikeout for John Guest. This is the head coach playing catch with his son. And Jackson just looking around, taking it all in. Wouldn't that be a thrill for a kid? It's got to be a thrill for a father. One out, nobody on. Joe White out of Grapevine, Texas. 374 this year. Played a little more than half the games. One of 3 DHs the club has used. Had a really big regionals, a 3-home run.
He doesn't have the most ability on the team, the most bat speed, but he's a baseball player. He keeps the bat in the zone for a long time, makes good contact, but not right there.
And John Gast is just mowing him down. Well, we've seen the guy with the really great numbers, Maxwell, get rocked. And a guy like John Gast with a 5.53 ERA look like a dominant performer.
Well, we've seen the fastballs that are getting hit start in the zone, stay in the zone, stay up. That ball never was in the zone. There's one right there. He's just pouring it in there to get ahead.
Jansen Whitty stands in with 2 out and nobody on. He's out of Arlington, Texas.
Jansen broke his hand last year, red shirt, and in their first spring inter-squad game. Missed 3 or 4 weeks of this season.
They say if you see something odd about his swing, he swings the baseball bat like a tennis racket, and it's because he was an elite tennis player until he was 13 years old and quit. Must have had a good backhand, huh?
We saw enough tennis today, didn't we, getting ready for this game?
That was one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen. If people aren't familiar with it, at Wimbledon they're playing the 5th set in the opening round, an American and a Frenchman. There's no tiebreaker in the 5th set. You play till somebody wins by 2. They have now played 2 nights in a row where it's been called off, and it's 59-59, and they'll go again tomorrow.
It's unbelievable.
It's one of the greatest things I ever saw.
Well, I was flipping between the World Cup and ESPN News. You've got the tennis, and then you've got this other game of World Cup on, and all of a sudden I looked at tennis, I'm looking at the score, I'm like, I couldn't turn it from then on.
Well, you called me to say, are you watching this?
You got to see this. It's tennis, and you had it on.
Oh, once you turned it on, you couldn't turn it off. Toward the hole and through, the first base hit of the game. Whitty delivers with a single. Just look at this. John Isner, who is, I believe, seeded 25th, and Nicholas Mahut, a Frenchman, who is not seeded. Now, neither one of these guys you probably never heard of unless you're an avid tennis follower. They have already played 9 hours and 58 minutes, and they're not done. And the way they were playing today, they may not be done tomorrow. They've got them picked off, and they throw it away. Whitty safe after they picked them off. Seminoles misplayed a great situation there.
Well, Gast has a great pickoff move, and boy, it is. He breaks that back leg and strides the first base like he's going to throw to home. And they just didn't. Oh, you look at that. That was an outstanding move. When you get a left-hander that can go into that crouch like he's getting power to go home and then bring himself to first base, that's highly deceptive.
I think it was Cardullo, the shortstop, who allowed the runner to get right on top of him, and the throw came then. That's not the way you're supposed to execute that rundown. He needs to get that ball faster.
Makes it bang bang, doesn't it, partner?
Yes, it does, and that's not what you want.
No, you get when you're running that ball towards your teammate. He sometimes has a glove signal, or he'll use his voice for now, and as he calls for the ball, he wants to take a step towards, but you got to make an accurate throw, and you don't want to jam yourself up against the runner.
First miscue for Boyd in 36 games. Runner in scoring position for Featherston, who had a big triple the other day with the bases loaded. Had a great at bat and just crushed it. He's a very positive kid, isn't he? Talked to him this morning. Gast misses low. Against UCLA, he was going against one of the great pitchers in the country. Cole got him to a 3-2 count. That cut the lead to 5-3 as he drilled it to left center and then dives into third with a triple. Big energy guy. Now he's got a chance to cut the lead in half with a base hit.
It's great to talk to kids, as we talked to Taylor in our meeting, that do something special but are still humble about it. Like, you know, I was just trying to pick the ball up out of his hands. I was trying to put a good swing on it, just get the barrel to bat. He didn't want to brag about it. He didn't want to say how special it was to do it. He just was saying, I was just trying to execute and fortunate enough to hit it hard.
To left and caught by Mike McGee. Featherston can't deliver this time, and the mistake does not hurt FSU. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Seminoles in this game, and Perk, crooked hat and all, was almost unhittable. So you can tell what FSU did with runners in scoring position. 0 for 13.
Here we go, pitch.
Sean Gilmartin will lead it off for the Seminoles here in the second. You'll see the bottom third of their order. He'll be followed by Travis and Lopez. Gilmartin, a California product. Only 45 at-bats coming into this game. Struck out a lot and hit a lot. It's feast or famine.
Only his second start as a DH this year, but he's been swinging a hot bat. They've been trying to get some action out of that 7-hole.
Checked his swing. It's funny, the home plate umpire on the appeal looked at the first base umpire. He's standing down there like, it's a left-handed batter. I can't help you a whole lot. Then they appealed to third. The only one that was left out was the second base umpire.
They didn't look there.
Gilmartin is another one of those two-way players, also a pitcher, swung over the top of that breaking ball, and fans. Let's check in with Kyle Peterson. Kyle?
Thank you, Mike. You know, the weather tonight totally different than usually you see this time of year at Rosenblatt. Wind blowing from left to right, and if there's an advantage, probably goes to Florida State because it makes this ballpark real similar to their ballpark at home. Dick Howser Stadium with a real short right field porch. Offense sometimes is geared that way. Will also affect the guys on the mound and the way that they go about it.
Come get it.
This one hit toward the shortstop. Featherston throws him out. Kyle?
Zap. Talked to both pitch coaches before the game, and Jamie Shoup and Randy Macy said the exact same thing. We got to make sure that we're away to the left-handers into the right-handers because that ball goes up in the air. Besides maybe Mike McGee to left, not a lot of them are going to carry out. But if it has backspin out to right, that ball's got a chance to really go tonight.
Oh, you're absolutely right, and the wind's got to be 15 to 20 miles an hour right now, closer to 20 probably. It's the only kind of wind blowing out. The only guy that likes this is a knuckleball.
He definitely pitched, trying to keep the ball out of right field.
Yes, he did.
Rafael Lopez went around, so he is in an 0-2 hole. 279 hitter. Started his career at Indian River State College. 0-3 call. Maxwell strikes out a pair in the inning and sets down FSU 1-2-3. End of 2 innings. Seminoles on top of the Horned Frogs 2-0. The NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One continues tomorrow on ESPN2. 7 Eastern starting time. Oklahoma takes on South Carolina in Game 10. That is an elimination game. The winner will go on to take on Clemson, a team they'll have to beat twice to reach the championship series, which starts Monday night here in Omaha. Beautiful day. We have had some just evil rain and lightning storms, and then after that, perfect weather. Hopefully we can get this ball game in with no problem. And the next 5 or 6 days, it'll just be very nice, sunny, 85. How about that?
That would be just perfect. You don't know whether to put your sunscreen on or grab your umbrella.
Aaron Schultz stands in, the sophomore center fielder from Spring, Texas. 9 home runs this year, hit them all in a row. And they said if they had played in a smaller ballpark, even at 5'8", 170, he could have had 15 bombs this year. Hard to shortstop, bobbled by Cardullo. Second miscue of the ball game for Florida State.
Well, that's the way they want Schultz to hit the ball. They say for a little guy that he hits too many balls in the air, and this one he stays down. You see the shadows are starting to creep. The hitters are going to see the ball a little better. And that ball just got a little deep on him. You see the glove is almost underneath his eyes. So when that ball goes to hit his glove, it's behind his eye line. You try and get your glove out in front of your eyes so that if there's a bobble, the ball goes off your chest. It doesn't stay deep and go between your legs.
Sophomore Brance Rivera stands in, the number 9 hitter, hit leadoff a lot of this season. Lined into right center for a base hit. Schultz around second, on his way to third. The throw will come to second, and TCU first and third with nobody out.
Two well-hit balls here to start the inning. One turns into an error, but this is a clean base hit out over the plate. Did a nice job keeping his nose down and through the swing, staying on that ball so he didn't hit the top of it.
First crack in the armor for John Gast. And now he'll have to face the top of the order with Pena. Infield is back at second and short, looking for the double play.
Ball.
Gast misses outside at 79 miles an hour.
This is where Rivera at first has got to be careful and not take him out of a rally and get picked off. Gast has that great move. He's already picked off one today. You take a one-way lead down there at first right now with no out. The first and third situation, trying to climb back in this ball game, down 2-0. Don't let the lefty get out of a jam without putting the ball in play.
Ball.
Just missed inside. The scouting report on Gast is that he may be better in pro baseball than he is in college. Even at 91 and 93 miles an hour, he is not considered a strikeout pitcher, and with aluminum bats, they get around on him a lot. With a wooden bat, 91 to 93 in a pros isn't bad for a lefty. Throw over to first. And left-handers always look 5 miles an hour faster than anyone. for whatever reason.
Yeah, he has a great pitcher's body. He looks like he could be a starter. He comes up maybe with a big breaking ball. He could be a left-handed specialist, but you throw above 90 miles an hour, you're left-handed, you're getting drafted.
Outside of third and foul. I thought it was a left-hander with a curveball and a heartbeat. You're getting drafted.
You know, and we could even eliminate the curveball. Left-handed in a heartbeat. Drafted by the Angels. Remind me of somebody like from my generation, like a Mark Langston who pitched for the Angels.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Pena. Foul back out of play. Gast, very deliberate as a pitcher. They would love to see him pick up the pace a little bit. It keeps the defense sharper.
He's got too much brain matter. Very smart young man. He's got a lot to think about.
Foul again. Pena just spoiling him, looking for one he can drive.
So much of an at bat is not always getting the hit, but spoiling it off and waiting for that mistake. And he's doing a good job grinding this out.
Pena fouls another one out of play. He's a switch hitter who has some power as a left-hander. He would love to come up left-handed in this game with that win, but facing Gast, he's on the other side of the dish.
And this inning continues. The captain, the catcher, batting second. Brian Holiday there in the on-deck circle. He is getting all the information he can. You see him, he'll get in his batting stance and be hitting right with him.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Tapped, foul outside of third.
Here you go.
So if nothing else, Pena is making Gast work here in the 3rd inning.
On a ground ball in the infield here, first and third, TCU is starting to run from third, so that if you're going to throw us out at third, we're gonna run at first base, and also if you go for the double play, we're going to take the run.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Pena. Runners at first and third. Nobody out in the TCU 3rd inning. Full count. Do you start Schultz from first? Or excuse me, Rivera from first?
I wouldn't right here because of the left-hander on the mound. Gast move. I wouldn't be surprised if Gast goes to first here, but I don't start the runner.
He goes to first and throws it down the right field line. Schultz will score. Rivera's on his way to third. They'll hold him. Florida State killing itself with mistakes. The 3rd error of the ball game.
Well, Jace Boyd at first. Maybe the sun gets him right here. He doesn't react quite there, and he doesn't go all the way for it. Gets blocked off a little bit by Rivera, but he doesn't make just that decisive move early enough. Like it's trouble picking up the ball. You see Gast, he's coming over. He gives the head fake to home, turns the head over, coming over as a lefty, trying to steal an out, but the high throw costs him.
Rivera to third. The infield is back. They will give up the run for the out. Now they're going to appeal at second base, saying he may have missed the bag, but he did not.
Now from up here, if he touches it, I think it's the back center field corner, because he is deep on this round, and I can see from their bench how you think he missed it. I was having a tough time even from up here in the press box knowing, but looks like his heel might have caught it. That's what looked like. He blew a tire going around turn 3. Well, that'd be turn 2 at second.
Turn 2. This one's fouled back over the roof. Now this will be the 11th pitch of the at bat to Jerome Pena.
Well, TCU's seeing the ball a lot better. That shadow has moved, and now it's right or about 10 feet in front of the plate.
Strike 3 call. Big out for Gast.
I don't know if this one made it back to the plate, but it is a nice 3-2 changeup right on the borderline. Take a look, you umpire at home. I'm not sure if it ever made it back, being a left-hander. Ball caught there from a right-hander. Of course, you think it came across the corner, but from a left-hander trying to work it back to the corner, didn't. Payne, you might have a little gripe there.
So Holiday with a chance to drive in a run with 1 out now. Holiday popped up his first time out. They're in at first and third, but back in the middle. Strike call to Holiday.
And the first at bat, they worked Holiday inside. Now a senior who is a gamer and grinds out everything, and the first pitch there was on the inner half. It'll be interesting if he makes an adjustment and sits on something on the inner half.
Gast got him to chase.
Well, he went change up away. He's got him sped up not only in this at bat with the first pitch fastball, but in the last at bat where he jammed him on that pop up, and then they were smart enough to throw a change up away right there to get him out in front.
Gast has struck out 3 so far. Back toward Gast. They've got the runner trapped off a third. And tagged out by the third baseman Sherman Johnson. I thought they were going to butcher that rundown play.
Well, the rule of thumb is to get it out of the pitcher's hand as soon as possible. John Gast took that rundown over. He did 2 things really by mistake. He should have given the ball up to the third baseman either right away or run directly at the runner. But as soon as the runner changes direction, he's got to get rid of the ball. It's no longer his job. And that allows Holiday to get the second because they couldn't execute the rundown quick enough to keep the runner, batter runner Holiday, out of scoring position.
It's a fielder's choice, and Holiday is out.
Is that 1-5 you put out? I think so.
1-5. Holiday advances to second base on the fielder's choice. Rivera is the out.
It's the only 1-5 you'll see that takes 20 seconds.
Well, that's a big out for Gast. He's got a runner at third, nobody out, strikes 1 out, and then gets a little comebacker that he turns into an out. And now it's up to Curry to drive a run in. Excuse me, Jason Coates, and you've got to you have to blame Gast for part of this trouble as he threw away that pickoff throw.
You know, this Sunday we've got the Yankees against the Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball. We have Andy Pettitte against Kershaw, the Dodgers, and Gast on the mound reminded me a little Andy Pettitte. The fastball kind of cut her in, the good move to first base, good pitcher's body.
Clayton Kershaw any good?
Yeah, Kershaw pretty good. He's more fastball curveball, and Pettitte, you know, having a great resurgent year. He's been outstanding. But just looking at John Gast and thinking about the pickoffs and how he's running that straight fastball with a little cut in on the right-hander's hands, that's very Pettitte-ish.
Holiday down at second doesn't have great speed, but he's a really smart base runner. And Coates walks on 4 pitches. First walk issued by Gast, so runners at first and second with 2 out. This is an elimination game in the College World Series. TCU has beaten Florida State once. They have to beat them again for the honor of facing UCLA on Friday. The loser goes home, the winner goes on, and the winner has to beat UCLA twice to reach the championship series. So the pressure is on both of these ball clubs. And all at once, Gast can't find the strike zone. He misses high and away to Curry, who was a strikeout victim his last time up.
Curry has great discipline and great power. I think the strikeout, the first at bat, was more about the vision of the shadows. And now that he's seeing the ball for at least 3/4 of the track, it could be a little different at bat.
Ball.
Of course, the first thing a left-hand hitter is going to see as he comes down in his field is a 20-mile-an-hour wind to right field.
And you've got to watch that, because left-on-left confrontation, as Mike Martin goes out for a little visit, left-on-left confrontation, and you want to hit the ball to right. The thing you're trying to do is you're trying to keep your front side in, because that left-hander's coming from the same side as you throw or hit. And now if you're going to also try and pull the ball to right field, that's not going to work out on a fastball way or breaking ball way. You're going to have to think left center and be surprised when you hit it over the right field wall.
Seminoles got 2 in the first on a pair of solo home runs. TCU has scored here in the visitors' half of the 3rd inning, courtesy of John Guest's throwing error on a pickoff try. And the Seminoles are not going to be shy about going to the bullpen in this one. They will be liberal in their use of relief pitchers.
They would definitely go to a change of look when you go to Daniel Bennett, the side armor, away from John Gass, the lefty, coming high 3/4.
Two balls and a strike. I'm sure one of the considerations that the Seminoles make in changing pitchers is you've got some really good left-handed hitters in this TCU lineup, and with that wind blowing to right, the lefty really shuts that down.
Well, if you have an ERA above 5, that means there's been some innings that have gotten out of control, and Mike Martin gets out there and says, you know, let's just finish this one off.
Up the middle and through for a base hit. Holiday around third. He'll score. We're tied at 2.
A couple errors by FSU ends up hurting him. He looked like they might be able to get out of this inning. He stays on the ball long enough to hit it up the middle. And even with first and second, they weren't pinching up the middle at all. They were spread between the shortstop and the second baseman, and they found the hole, and TCU has tied this thing up.
2-2 into Joe White, who was a strikeout victim his first time up back in the 2nd inning.
Time.
Now 2 on 2 out. These teams in Omaha right now so evenly matched, you cannot afford to give extra outs, and Florida State has already made 3 errors in this ballgame. The error this inning has really cost them.
Well, they keep coming at you, TCU. Every hitter in their lineup hits over 300. And even though that they ran into Garrett Cole for UCLA, they still had a shot at him, even as good as he was throwing.
Yes, they did. Right field. And Ramsey is there to make the catch. 3rd out of the inning, but they get a couple to tie it up. It is 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd after a break. Kyle will speak with one of the stars of Omaha, South Carolina's dynamic Jackie Bradley Jr.
I feel like being patient and being aggressive in certain counts as well. Just staying within myself, knowing what I can do and whatever I can do to help the team. I've been getting really good counts and being able to take aggressive hacks in certain situations.
Jackie, it's fun to watch you, bud. Thanks for coming and saying hi.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike.
Kyle, thanks very much. And Jackie, very nice young man with obviously an awful lot of talent and a great future. Maxwell has missed on the first 2 pitches to Tyler Holt. Gets one in there, and it's 2-1 as Florida State bats here in the 3rd, now in a tie ball game. This one's hit to deep right center field, but caught by Brants Rivera. Well, it was not an easy start for Stephen Maxwell, was it?
No, he was getting his fastball up, and the hitters were having a tough time seeing it, but it was never changing plane. He made a nice adjustment last inning, started throwing his curveball a little bit more. That last pitch there was a changeup. He got him off it, stayed in the ballpark. If that's a fastball, maybe it's a little deeper and a little farther, but changeup got him a flyout.
Sherman Johnson, who had the home run to right field. Maxwell stares in, didn't like that call. And that one almost got away from Brants Rivera. It looked like they were having trouble deciding who was going to make that catch. Lined and off the glove of the second baseman Pena into center field for a base hit. So two very hard hit balls off the bat of Sherman Johnson. He just continues to impress. And here's the power. Mike McGee, who crushed one into a 20-mile-an-hour wind to left for his 17th home run of the year. Fastball up and in. I mean, without the wind, that thing's 15 rows back. This hit was smoked. Called strike 1-1. And the Seminoles, geez, been a long time, huh? Since 2006. First to back-to-back home runs here in the College World Series. When LSU was here playing gorilla ball, we'd have back-to-back-to-back and not even think about it. And those were 400-foot jobs.
Those girls had to be freshmen. They weren't doing that in a coordination. Maybe by sophomore they'll be together.
They'll learn. There's a clinic for that down there.
Yeah.
Johnson with 7 stolen bases this year. You wouldn't expect he'd be doing much with McGee up there. But they'd like to keep him close. He's a sophomore. McGee is a junior out of Port St. Lucie. Finalist for the John Olerud two-way player award. Another throw over. Johnson has to dive back this time. They will test base runners with all the pickoff plays they have.
They have pickoff plays that are fake drop balls and almost like student body right.
Took something off and it struck out McGee. You can keep up with all of the NCAA College World Series information. Log on to NCAA.com. It's the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. So with 2 out, it leaves it up to Ramsey, who lined out his first time up in a rough first inning for Stephen Maxwell. Another throw over. Yeah, they'll try to do things on pickoff plays that guys haven't seen in a while, maybe you've never seen. And if they work occasionally, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, they've got a whole holster of tricks over there that Jim Schlossnagle has taught them.
My favorite, we always see the fake throw to third, then the turn and fake throw to, or the throw to first, or the fake throw. They have, as that one is lined fair inside the right field line by Ramsey down into the corner. Rivera's going to have to dig it out and gets by him. And Sherman Johnson's going to be able to score, and Ramsey is easily into third. Ramsey's hit the ball twice very hard.
His father, Craig, went to Florida State back in the 80s, played for Mike Martin, and his dad and mom have to be awfully proud. That's a very athletic family. His mom actually was a tennis player also. So Mr. Ramsey, base, made mom and dad proud.
Has the good genes, huh?
Yeah.
Cardulo singled his first time up and has a runner at third with 2 out. Back to that one pickoff play. They fake to third, turn around, fake to first. That's when everybody relaxes. Then they turn around, throw back to third in the same play. And if that guy's being a little lazy, he's gone. You never think of that third leg. I've never seen that one before.
Well, they've got one where the right fielder on a base hit to right throws behind the runner making his turn. The first baseman misses the ball on purpose. The catcher, Brian Holiday, the captain, is there behind, and then they pick the runner off.
And you feel just a little sheepish when it happens.
You just got to stay on your toes and not believe it when they boot the ball.
Shadows almost gone at home plate. Took something off. That changeup's been very effective for him, and Cardulo was out in front.
Yeah. Maxwell, since he has taken his breaking ball, his changeup, and turned them into something to pitch with instead of just used sporadically, has really settled down. When he was trying to use his fastball to get ahead or use it as an out pitch, that's when they were hitting him. But since he started throwing predominantly breaking balls and changeups, at least a 50-50 mix, he's been more effective.
Three and 2. That's foul outside third. Another change. Cardulo's one of those guys who waited his turn. And as a senior shortstop, he has been invaluable to this club. And he's come through for them too. 11 home runs, 51 driven in. Toward the hole, stay-up by the shortstop, Featherston, long throw, not in time, and a run scores. Cardulo hustling down the line, beat it out.
Well, you got a shot when you put it in play, and when it finds a hole like this, you got a better shot. There's a nice play just ranging over there, gets his legs underneath him, but just not enough time to catch another shortstop that runs well enough to beat it out.
Had he not slipped when he tried to plant initially, and that grass has got to be wet with all the rain we've had, he had a shot. But once that happened, Cardulo runs well enough, he had no chance to get him even with a good throw. And action, Lockwood, they said he would be ready to go at a moment's notice, and he is up here in the third inning as Florida State has taken the lead. Another bad throw over to first, this time by Maxwell. Cardulo around second, he's on his way to third. What is going on here? The nerves are jangling.
You're trying to be quick. You're trying to do a little extra because you're not getting people out. And he just pulls the throw over there. And again, we see kind of another slow reaction because the first basemen on both teams are so intent on picking up the ball out of the pitcher's hand with a pickoff because of that harsh sun coming over the right field side, really the third base side of the bleachers.
The sun's got to have something to do with it because their reaction is a half a count too slow.
Exactly. And the throws are definitely offline. They're too high, too wide. But sometimes you at least see the guys get a glove on it or knock it down. One of the first things
I've always been a brutal sun field at this time of day on that side for the first and second baseman and the right fielder, particularly the right fielder on line drives. I don't know how some of these guys catch anything on that. And they're looking down to see if the bullpen is ready. And if you have not been with us all along, here's the way this bracket looks. UCLA is unbeaten. They will play again Friday against the winner of this game. The loser is eliminated. Florida is already gone. The Seminoles knocked them out of the ball game, or out of the tournament. And in the other bracket, Clemson is the undefeated team. Arizona State already out. Oklahoma, South Carolina play tomorrow night to see who will meet the Tigers. We will check the pitching change for you when we come back to the College World Series in Omaha, the last at Rosenblatt. Welcome back to the College World Series. Florida State has regained the lead 4-2, and TCU has decided to go with Tyler Lockwood, the right-hander out of Sugar Land, Texas. 6-2, a sparkling earned run average 1.97, has 7 saves out of the bullpen this year. And the first batter he faces is Jace Boyd with a runner at third, 2 out and 2 home. So Maxwell only goes 2 2/3. And this is a fly ball to right center field. Schultz drifts over and makes the catch. So Lockwood gets out of it quickly, but the Seminoles, even though they strand a runner at third, get a pair and regain the lead here in Omaha. Absolutely everything. Bennett crossfires. 5-1, 3 saves, 3.65 ERA. And he'll face Whitty to start the 4th inning. And Whitty greets him with a base hit to center field.
Well, Daniel Bennett on the mound, he tops out at about 84 miles an hour. It's a completely different look for this TCU team. You come away from a lefty that was throwing hard, 90, 91, and now you go to a righty that mainly throws 2-seamers and changeups. They're going to have to be very patient and work their way into these hitting counts, and that was a nice piece of hitting by Whitty.
Bennett is usually a setup guy for McGee, the closer, who comes in out of left field to do that job. But here in the College World Series, roles change. And if you need to bring him in your setup man in the 4th inning, so be it. You might bring your closer in the 7th. You got to hold your breath every time they throw to first now.
These elimination games, they're Johnny Holstaff to get through them. Any way you get through and get to tomorrow.
Throw down to first, not in time. Good idea by Lopez. Gast goes 4 innings, so he cannot be the winner. Excuse me, 3. Still can't be the winner. Got him on the sidearm breaking pitch.
Well, the first time you see a blemish with your starter or things start to go a little haywire, you're going to get him out. Jim Schlossnagle or Mike Martin both going to the bullpen early.
Gast only gave up 3 hits.
Really, I don't know how many of his runs are earned right now. I haven't looked at that, but none.
Because of
the
that
errors
throwing
out
error.
there, yeah. His own and the shortstop.
Aaron Schultz stands in with 1 on and 1 out. Schultz reached on an error on the shortstop Cardullo. They've got a hit and run going. Throw to second. Still got the force out. Would have had the double play, but the throw is wide. Whitty did his best to go in there and give the shortstop a problem. In college baseball, you have to slide directly into the bag, but that time he was so close to the bag, he still provided some cover.
Well, the rule of thumb for Devin Travis is if that runner has to stop for the ball to let it go by, then he's lost his momentum. You can beat him to the bag at second and then the throw wide at first. They had a chance for 2, but you can't assume the double play, so no error there. A nice play by Devin Travis, though, at second base. realizing what he had in front of him.
2 on 1 out, or 1 on 2 out for Brance Rivera from Muscatine, Iowa. Dad was a high school coach there.
Ball.
Crossfire sails inside. Usually side armors have an awful lot of run on that ball.
And the key for TCU in their approach here is to not make outs outside the strike zone. That Taylor Featherstone curveball strikeout was not good for them. Make him get it on the plate.
Breaking pitch popped to shallow center. Cardullo is out. He'll make the play. TCU is down in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the inning. Florida State with a 2-run lead on Texas Christian. We ought to go. Well,
I hope he's not too loud. Our hotel's right across the street.
Time for our Coke Zero game track. I was just thinking we ought to go. We got a game. FSU back-to-back home runs in the first to take the lead, but their misplays in the field allowed TCU to get back in the ball game until the Seminoles regained the lead. I mean, I don't think Tom Petty's going to wait for us to start at 11. Do you?
The warm-up band doesn't get off the stage.
Sean Gilmartin to lead it off. The designated hitter 0 for 1, a strikeout. Just seems like a day game right now. It's still sunny and beautiful.
Long summer nights here in Nebraska. It's so nice without the humidity.
Yes, it is. Beautiful day today. Next couple are supposed to be nice, and then the typical summer weather is supposed to come back Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
You'd think with all the rain we'd have, there'd be some humidity, but rain kind of knocked it down, cooled it off.
The current wind is out of the northeast, so that's been nice for the crowd here today. Chop towards short. Featherston charges and fires, and Gilmartin is gone. The NBA draft returns to ESPN. That's tomorrow night. John Wall, Evan Turner, Wesley Johnson highlight the field entering the NBA draft on ESPN Thursday. Coverage starts with the NBA draft preview at 7 Eastern. I know in Washington they are terribly excited about the first pick, and when I left home they were all over the idea that they were going to take John Wall, and he was going to be foundation of that ball club for the next 10-12 years. Really a talented young man, tremendously fast. I mean, with Steven Strasburg in baseball, John Wall in basketball, and of course the beloved Redskins, Washington sports scene is starting to be a little more fun than it used to be.
I got to go to Steven Strasburg's first game. He set the all-time record for first 4 starts, number of strikeouts. He has 41 in his first 4 starts. He surpassed Herb's score at 40, but he lost. Gave up a run in 6 innings with 9 Ks and lost.
Well, they lost 1-0. It's not like they racked him around either.
No.
On the ground to the second baseman, Pena stayed with a tough high and threw out Devin Travis.
You know, we can't go without talking about our soccer team, and Mike Martin, such a classy individual, was telling so many stories in our morning meeting today. And in the next room there was a guy watching the U.S. soccer game, and they kept hearing groans, and we had in the background had the game on without the sound.
Line to left, but right at Jason
And
Coates.
I kept interrupting Mike's stories with groans too when we hit the crossbar.
We'll talk to Mike Martin when we come back to Omaha. It is 4-2 Florida State. You know, Kyle, there just aren't too many people left in this country who say dadgummit, but Mike Martin is one of them, and he's just a good guy and a special person, and he has meant so much to college baseball.
I was telling the soccer story that we were groaning every time we just missed a goal when Landon Donovan had the game winner in the extra time. I yelled in the middle of his story. He jumped, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Coach, we just scored.
He didn't mind a bit.
When the U.S. scored, all of Bristol jumped too.
Yes, it did. Here's Pena at 3:15. He's 0 for 2. Hit that hard, but foul.
They're the cardiac kids, the U.S. soccer team, for me. They came back in that deficit.
1-0, and it will re-air, we are told, on ESPN2. If you didn't have the chance to see it during the day, if you were at work, you can see it after our game.
Well, the comeback they made in game 2.
Which was outrageous.
Had the winning goal.
Won.
Yeah, had the winning goal taken away from him, and then to score in extra time when you know you have to win, and it's 0-0 at the 91st minute or so.
That referee, by the way, who called that penalty and never did choose to explain it, has been the backup referee on 2 matches, but not been allowed to referee again since then. Which certainly sounds fair, considering what the call he made.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that with Jim Joyce, the umpire that was part of the imperfect perfect game.
No,
because he's one of the best umpires in the big leagues,
and he handled it so well.
And Galarraga did too.
Oh, that was just a tragic situation for both of them.
Then turned into a great presentation of how good people and can become role models in a tough situation, both of them.
Absolutely. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Pena, the top of the order. He'll be followed by Holiday, and Coates chops this one foul.
TCU was down 6-0 to UCLA, and Garrett Cole, who's one of the best pitchers in the nation, still only a sophomore, and TCU came back and got 3 late in the game and actually looked like they were going to tie it up at one point.
Hit hard, but the second baseman Devin Travis is there and throws him out. Well, your remote batteries should be worn out after today. USA wins the group. They'll face Ghana as we get to the knockout stage, the longest match in Wimbledon history. They've been on the court for 10 hours. They will resume tomorrow. And Strasbourg against the Royals. Another terrific effort, 9 strikeouts, only 1 run, but he does lose. And now you've got this, and then a replay of the World Cup and Sports Center and all the other stuff we got going.
There's no boredom even when you're in the hotel room right now if you've got any one of our stations on.
Just click, click, click. You don't want to miss anything. Holiday has really been handcuffed here so far in the College World Series. Hasn't been able to get on track. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out, hit into fielder's choice. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. And boy, this is a major difference for a hitter facing Gast. And then Bennett comes in. It's about 15-mile-an-hour slower.
When you're a grinder like Brian Holiday, the one thing I'm worried about him here is just gripping that bat too hard.
Line to left, base hit. You can stop worrying.
Well, the fastball in has been getting him and jamming him, and he's usually a lot quicker in there. 5'9", 190 pounds, usually quick inside. But this one will loosen your hands up because it was away from him, so he had to extend his arms, and that has a tendency to take the pressure off of the grip. He really has the bat up here, and he's winding up. He's hooking it around the back of his head, and he's grinding it. If these were still wood, you'd say you're taking him, turning it into sawdust. But fortunately, when that ball was out of way, it starts to loosen that grip up, and he got the flick it over.
Be careful what you're
I get
doing
it right
with
there
that,
close. Sorry.
Holiday aboard for Jason Coates. Well, that's a tendency when your nerves get to you to start gripping it a little harder than you should.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's so nervous, is so excited to be here and wants to grind it out and has led this team and the intensity he has. It's amazing on a ground ball in the infield. He runs down to first base to back up the play at first base. And after the play is over, he is the first one back to his position behind home plate. He sprints back to home plate. And if you watch the rest of his team, they all sprint back to their positions also. After every ending of every play, you'll see everybody run back. There's no jog, there's no walk, there's no look in the stands to see mom. Everybody sprints back to their position just like him.
If the All-American leader sprints, you sprint.
Yep.
Or you're going to hear about it from everybody else, including him.
Yeah, you would think he'd have to be a real vocal leader. He takes responsibility for the chemistry on the bench and the momentum that they feel. There is no dead bench with him on this team.
2-2 to Coates. Struck him out.
It's going to be soft and softer from Bennett. You're going to have to hit something that's either going left to right, which would be the sinker. You're going to have to hit something that's going right to left, which would be the breaking ball. And that's a little sinker that doesn't tail a lot, but drops down.
So it's up to Curry with 2 men out. We're in the 5th. TCU down a pair. They have only scored courtesy of Florida State mistakes.
Ball.
Right-hander on the mound, left-hander with power at the plate. Don't look for Holiday to run here. I think they're going to try and ride one on the wind and pick up 2 here with 2 outs. Bennett, a soft tosser. He's going to have to try and work him off the outside corner to keep him out of right field and lifting the ball that way. Or if he throws something soft that he can pull, he's going to want him to pull it on the ground or pull it foul.
Ball.
You see him continue to work him away. When you top out at 84 miles an hour and the wind is blowing out to right field as a gale force, you don't want anything from the middle of the plate to the inside part of the plate to a guy who has power. This game will be tied in a heartbeat.
3-0 to Curry. Strike called. Curry has a single and 2 trips. He leads this club coming into the College World Series with 17 home runs.
Ball.
He didn't want any part of it.
No, sure didn't. Now he's got the right-hander White to face. And of course, if you're a crossfire, sidearm, or submarine kind of guy, left-handers are going to torment you anyhow. They get such a good look at the ball. Right-handers, you can handle most of them.
Yeah, when Kyle interviewed Mike Martin, he talked about he liked the way he matched up against this club, and this is the matchup they're looking for. The right-on-right situation. So you had to pitch around somebody, put somebody in the scoring position to get to the right batter.
2 on, 2 out. The ball inside to Joe White. Came into the College World Series with a lot of confidence at the plate because he had hit so well in postseason. That's Jansen Whitty on deck.
Another guy in this TCU club that doesn't have the most ability, but that just grinds it out from that Brian Holiday leadership. They're a senior catcher. A lot of guys on this team have been guys that are borderline ability, but when that work ethic hits, they've found out a way to do it.
Breaking pitch down to third and caught by Sherman Johnson. Soft liner ends the inning. 2 stranded. TCU has batted 5 times. They have only scored twice, and they're down 4-2. Holtz has drawn the collar. He's 0 for 2.
Here we go, pitch.
Young man with a lot of talent. Played for Team USA this summer, or over the summer. Hit .371. Lines that one just over the glove of Pena into right center for a base hit. And when he's aboard, the next thing you look for is he's headed for second base. Back in the first inning, Sherman Johnson came up and a wind-blown bomb to right, then Mike McGee against the wind into left. But that was with Holt not aboard. He has stolen 30 of 33, had 20 in a row this year at one point without being caught. Brian Holiday well aware of what he can do, and Holiday loves the challenge of people trying to run on him. And if they do run, just watch his feet. He has tremendous mechanics. Two balls, no strikes to Sherman Johnson. You don't want to get behind this guy and have to groove one. He's already shown you his power with his 10th home run.
Hold up, time. Hold up.
And we've got something loose down by the bullpen, the right field line.
Can we get that brought up here?
You want that particular one?
No. But it's wrapped in plastic. It's probably got a nice tie on it.
5-second rule. It's okay.
With this wind, it's blown out of the stands.
Throw over, and Holt is back trying to get the biggest possible lead he could get.
Should be an award for a successful pickoff attempt without throwing it away.
Exactly. McGee hoping to have a couple of guys aboard when he comes up, and he's close to it. 3-0 from Tyler Lockwood.
Both of these right-handed pitchers trying to stay away from left-handed batters with power to keep the ball to right field, and they're missing outside.
Strike called. There's the delayed pickoff throw. They told us about that this morning. Holiday will act like all he's doing is standing up to throw the ball back to the pitcher, and if the runner is not paying attention, he'll get him walking back with his head down. They don't miss a trick.
Yeah, the body's going back to the pitcher, but the arm goes towards first base. Take a look at this. He comes up, holds the pitch. Oh, the body now turn go that way.
And Tyler Holt was ready for it.
It's called the sleeper pick.
Yeah. There goes Holt. And it's ball 4. Dangerous situation here for TCU. Speed on the base paths, and Mike McGee coming to the plate. He already has a home run. Well, you can tell Holt can fly.
Yeah, he was off there, and you had a solid base hit, a walk, and you're down by 2. This is a big point in the game for TCU.
17 home runs, 73 RBIs. Both #1 on the club.
He handles the bat really well at the plate, and even though he's had the home run, they don't be surprised if they still bunt. They've got TCU kind of in between, because you can't crash on him because he's such a good hitter, but he handles the bat so well, he still might decide to bunt.
In at first and third, double play depth up the middle. And he does sacrifice toward first. They look to third, but the only play they have is over there. How about that? A 329 hitter with 17 home runs, 73 RBIs. He lays down a sacrifice to advance the runners.
And not a particularly good bunt, because he's such a great hitter. They've got to play a conventional infield. They can't crash on a bunt play. So Matt Curry at first, you see this bunt is very hard, but the angle of it and the fact that they really couldn't crash, and you've got a speedy runner going from second to third in Tyler Holt, so it would take a really obscenely bad bunt to not get him over.
That's his second sacrifice bunt this year, and it puts 2 runners in scoring position. Now the infield has to come in for Ramsey. He's hit the ball hard very hard twice. Pulled it on a line to the first baseman and then pulled it between the first baseman and the bag for a triple his last time up.
You don't see that very often, a pick off to third from a right-handed pitcher. The same thing that Kyle was talking about as far as where the foot has to go on that 45 degrees. A right-hander can make a balk to third also. So they went with the pickoff knowing that they were going to set up the intentional walk. If you're going to set up the double play, might as well try the pickoff first. So it was a timing play with the third baseman, and now they're going to set up the double play and try and get out of the jam.
They'll walk the left-hander Ramsey to go to the right-handed batting Stephen Cardullo. So that'll load him up with one out and puts the double play in order. And that's what Lockwood will be trying for. Now, if you're Mike Martin, you've already sacrificed with your top power hitter, McGee. Do you say to Cardullo, hey, how about a little squeeze action here?
That is a possibility, but it's a little harder to squeeze with bases loaded because you have a force play at home instead of a tag play. That's a generous strike call right there.
Sure was. Breaking pitch looked like it was high, dropped in there for a called strike. On the corner, 0-2.
Cardullo with 51 RBIs is now down 0-2. There's only 4 guys on this team with RBIs above 50, and he's one of them. So here's a guy they look to drive in runs.
Lockwood tried to get him to chase with a fastball that was way off the plate.
Well, here's where some senior leadership behind the plate will go a long way. Come on, bounce me a breaking ball, I'll block it. We need an out, a big out right here. Don't be afraid to bounce it.
1-2. Fastball right down the middle, hammered toward right. It's going to be caught by Rivera. The throw to the cutoff man. The run scores. So Cardullo got in an 0-2 hole, fought his way back, gets a sacrifice fly, and drives in a run. And there was no way you were going to get Holt from third base. He can fly anywhere.
That's what I was thinking with a 1-2 count, that you wanted a strikeout or a ground ball, because the guy on third you are not going to get with his speed. The fly ball is deadly. As far as the 3 ways that you'd like to get an out, a fly ball, a ground ball, or a strikeout, I would put the fly ball in third place, and that's what the fastball in usually gets.
Jace Boyd 0 for 2. Well, that's why I was thinking squeeze when he came up, because Holt, with that great speed from third on the suicide squeeze, I don't care if you got a force play at home or not, you're not going to have time to get him.
I'm with you on the play, but I'm not with you in this situation because where we are in the game and the wind blowing out, that I think Mike Martin thinks that there's going to be a lot more than 5 runs scored to win this game.
He's probably right about that too.
And what we've seen here, and you know, we've already have 7 runs through the you know, the 5th inning here, and you think, okay, we've got another half a game to play. We're probably looking at another 7 runs to be scored, and which side's going to score them, and he wants more.
You know what? This game is just too darn complicated.
No, I don't think so. I think you're very, very good at it. You bring up really good points.
It's just too many things to think about sometimes.
Think everything we've had today with the soccer and the tennis, and now we're here. This is unbelievable. What a day.
2-1 to Jace Boyd. 2 out, 2 on. Seminoles with a little more breathing room. Scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 here in the 5th. Missed outside, 3-1. Gil Martin, the left-hander, would be next. And that's the last thing they want to do here, is bring up a left-hander with guys on base and a chance to break it open. Hit toward right center and slicing away from the center field, and that gets down to the wall. It's going to score 2 runs. And Boyd will be in for a stand-up double. He hit a rocket in the right center field that one-hopped the wall. Drives in 2, and Florida State is up 7-2.
If Tyler Lockwood would have got out of this with only the 1 run on the sac fly, I would have said that would have been momentum shift to TCU, believe it or not, even giving up a run.
I agree.
But this 2-out double right here really puts the ball game in FSU's court. You're talking about having 7 runs now with a great 2-out double that scores 2 more.
And there's Gil Martin, fouls that one outside first. So Lockwood's been knocked around in this inning. Remember, the winner of this game will play again Friday against UCLA and would be only 2 wins away from going to the championship series. The loser, they have to go home. And it would be sort of a storybook ending at Rosenblatt Stadium that a Mike Martin team would be in the finals. They're a long way from that right now, but they've got a leg up in this game.
Gotta have you. Gotta have you.
Yeah, it was great this morning when you told me that he invented the saying 0-2
in a barbecue.
Yeah. And they got their win, so they didn't 0-2 it this year.
You can hear him saying it, can't you?
Yeah.
Dad gummit 0-2 in a barbecue.
But he's been here 14 times. This is his 14th time.
He's brought some great clubs here. His team with J.D. Drew.
Yeah.
Boy, those guys were good. J.D. Drew was just lights out everything.
Ball.
That missed outside. Of course, he had Buster Posey. Great two-way player. The most bizarre things have happened to Florida State out here. They have lost games every imaginable way. And Gil Martin draws a walk, 2 aboard again for the Seminoles, and Lockwood really struggling right now. Both sides been careful with left-handed batters.
Situation where Lockwood looked like he was doing the job, and that 2-out double really put him on their heels. He had pitched very well in this situation. This ballpark is playing very offensive minded today. Infield is playing fast, and the outfield is playing short because of that wind to right.
TCU bullpen had done its job coming in against FSU and UCLA in the first 2 ball games. No earned runs. Today they have faltered. You know, the philosophy, Oral, against left-handed hitters today has almost been the unintentional intentional walk. They're nibbling at the corner. If a guy wants to go after bad pitches, let him. But otherwise, we're not going to groove anything.
Exactly. It's so important to get strike 1 when you have a situation where one part of the ballpark is playing smaller, because if you get to a point where you're falling behind in the count and you only have to pitch to one side of the plate because you don't want them to hit it to right, that strike zone gets real small on you in a hurry.
Strike on the corner. They get out of it, but Florida State adds to its lead. The Seminoles up 7-2, and Boyd had the big shot in the inning. A 2-run double to right center. Florida State on top by 5. The 2010 FIFA World Cup continues on ESPN and ESPN2 tomorrow morning. 2 games at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Slovakia against Italy on ESPN2. Paraguay taking on New Zealand. The World Cup is available on TV, online, and on your phone. After our game tonight, a re-air of today's USA-Algeria match on ESPN2. Arguably the biggest win in USA men's soccer history.
Ball.
7-2. Can TCU battle back? They're running out of time. We're in the 6th. Jansen Whitty will lead it off. He's the number 6 man in the order, followed by Featherstone and Schultz.
Kind of looking out over the right field right now, and you see the Desert Dome with the environment there. That it reminds me they're going to keep the foul poles up in their exact place when this becomes the new part of the zoo.
Home plate is still going to be here. It will be a shrine to Rosenblatt, and they will be able to expand the zoo and have a lot more parking, and it's one of the most popular attractions in Omaha.
It'll be sad to leave here, but it'll be fun to see the new ballpark.
Swing and a miss. And Bennett has been very effective. You can join us and our 20,000 friends on Facebook and Twitter. Search ESPN Omaha on Facebook and become a fan. Get behind the scenes access to video, discussions, information on all the featured bands. You can also follow 3-time All-American Kyle Peterson and Aaron Andrews for live updates. Ground ball to second. And Travis throws on to Boyd for the 2nd out of the inning.
What is he tweeting now?
You don't tweet, do you?
I have an account, but I don't tweet enough. I should probably tweet more.
Why should you tweet more?
I have no idea. I just thought that was the thing to say.
Line to center. Holt comes on and runs it down. 3 up, 3 down, and the TCU 7th. Make it the TCU 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. 7-2 Florida State. Nice to see they're doing that in so many cities when they have torn down old stadiums. Some places not even a plaque as to where that place was. Baseball is such a game of history. I think it's a terrible disservice to the game, and it's nice that they're going to find a way to at least preserve the memories at Rosenblatt.
If you come to my house, you might find one of those bleacher chairs. Might find its way back to my house.
It'll be tough getting on the plane, isn't it?
These things called shipping. The only thing I won't miss here is the elevator.
I like that 4-minute ride to get from the first to the second floor. You always think it's broken.
You know what? It's not slow. It's just character.
You're right. I won't miss that. This one's chopped foul by Lopez. Kyle Peterson, you have been around this stadium a long time, from the time you were a kid. What kind of plans can you tell us about here?
Well, I think what's cool is kind of how you saw that infield at the zoo is how it came about and how it was designed. Johnny Rosenblatt's son Steve actually played a part in figuring out what they were going to do here. Just about got smoked.
That happened to you a couple of years ago.
It did, yeah. I'm a little bit quicker this year, but Steve's played a part in designing this infield at the zoo. He worked with P.J. Morgan, the former mayor, and some other guys here in Omaha. And the great thing is, I mean, you got to realize that the zoo literally is the biggest tourist attraction in the state year in and year out. But it's great that the zoo and the city and everybody working together to make sure that, I mean, for years and years and years to come, people can still stand at the same plate that home plate was. And you know there's going to be plenty of people next year. Well, it'll actually be 2 years later. This will be done. Bring their kids back here when they come back to the College World Series. Just remind them of everything that's happened here over the years.
It is a double-edged sword leaving this place, isn't it?
It doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it's going to be tough to leave it, obviously. But what came with the new ballpark when they announced TD Ameritrade is a 25-year commitment to the city of Omaha. So, I mean, we talk a lot about Rosenblatt, rightfully so, because Rosenblatt's played a giant part in it for the last 60 years. But I think the overriding factor has been the city and the way that they've embraced it. really the way that it's grown within the city. It also speaks to the growth of the game. I mean, college baseball has exploded, and you look at what's happened in the last 15 or 20 years. To move into it's exciting for the game as well. I mean, that Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it ends, is going to be a tough day. But I mean, it also means that the game is growing, and that's a good thing.
That's a terrific perspective on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Holt, 1 out. Nobody on. Now 2-2. Holt last time up singled and scored. FSU trying to add to its lead here in the 6th. That one will get out of play down the right field line. Holt, in addition to all his athletic achievements, is an academic honoree on the ACC Academic Honor Roll, named to the Dean's List. Has better than a 3.0 grade point average. This one's hit high down the right field line. The wind pushing it toward the stands, and it's foul. I had a 3.0, but it was on a 10-point scale.
I don't believe you.
It's a little inflated.
Okay. Tyler's one of the 3 captains on this team. Mike McGee, the left fielder and closer, is the other one, and Steven Cardulo, the shortstop, is the other one. So they've got some great leadership. 3 captains for Mike Martin.
Aren't those the guys you would expect? The shortstop, the center fielder, and the closer. Across the dot for the 2nd out. Kyle Peterson says he almost got smoked like he did 3 or 4 years ago. Watch this foul ball.
I'm glad he was talking to us and not twittering, because if he's twittering, his head's down.
Oh, yeah.
You know, FSU is the only team that. I'm glad he was talking to us and not twittering, because if he's twittering, his head's down.
Oh, yeah.
You know, FSU is the only team that can have 3 captains, but they play 4 positions.
Left field and closer being,
1 guy.
Being the combination. Kyle, you still got a little quickness down there, my man.
Hey, I learned my lesson. I'm not sitting in the dugout anymore. You put me behind a wall now, I got a chance.
This one is hit into the gap in right field by Sherman Johnson for a base hit. Now, I remember when you did get drilled, what was it, 3 years ago? The normal person would have been down there with tears in his eyes, and you pretended absolutely nothing happened and went ahead with your report.
Well, and you guys were nice enough to talk to me right after it happened. So while I couldn't run up and start crying, you started talking to me right away. Tom Holliday was a pitcher coach for Texas. And I grabbed him by the shirt and I said, if you throw another fastball inside, I'm going to jerk you right out of the dugout.
I didn't know Kyle had a propensity for physical retaliation. I thought he was a very calm pitcher.
McGee takes a breaking pitch outside with Sherman Johnson on and 2 out. Seminoles on top, 7-2 here. This is an elimination game at Rosenblatt. The winner will face UCLA Friday and will still have a big uphill climb to make the championship series. But as long as you're alive, that's what counts. Now there's a collection of pins. This is not his first rodeo. Missed outside.
Its pins are big here, but I don't think there's any bigger place than at the Little League World Series in Williamsport.
Really?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. The kids and the booths, and there's 2 hotels that give their convention center rooms up to it, and they have pin trading throughout the whole city for the whole time the Little League World Series is going on.
When I was at the Olympics in Montreal back in the 70s, I never saw anything like it. People were trading stuff. It was
worldwide then. It's like a huge convention at the Olympics.
Remarkable.
Our ESPN cameramen have their own personal pin at the Little League World Series. Actually movable. The Robo pin is one of the most sought after pins.
How about that?
Yeah, it's a 2-piece pin. These have gotten very sophisticated now.
Apparently. 3 balls and a strike to McGee with Sherman Johnson at first base and 2 outs. Foul back toward us. Of all the time I've been coming out here, we have only had one ball that came in the booth. One.
And did you catch it or duck?
Oh, I was ducking like crazy because it got back here in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a little pop-up. This thing was a rocket.
This is a far cry out here.
And it rattled around in here for a while.
I bet you it was a left-handed hitter because we're kind of off to the third base side.
Chop toward third. Whitty throws across. Make the tag at first. The inning is over. We have played 6 full. TCU with 3 innings to catch up to Florida State. Rita said she's come to games with 5 generations of her family, including her mom, who attended games until she was the age of 90. Way to go. That's one of the reasons people love coming out here. The citizens of Omaha and the baseball fans here have just embraced this event, embraced the teams that come here year after year. Everybody is treated like royalty. I don't think any other event like it. More power to the city now that they have another long-term agreement to keep it here with the NCAA. Bounce to the second baseman Travis by Branch Rivera. One quickly gone here in the 7th. And now back to the top of the order for Pena. Understandably, TCU looks a little flat right now. They got to pick it up, running out of time.
And what happened in the game against UCLA is that we had a little lull in the game, and their relief pitching did so well it gave them time to climb back in. And they're going to need some zeros probably the rest of the way from their pitching staff.
Yes.
To make up this 5-run deficit. But they were down 6-0. They're still loose.
And they've had such a magnificent season. That ought to cut into the gap. Pena hammers one into the seats and right. That's his 10th home run. Tonto just went yard.
Showing off the Omaha.
Daniel Bennett had gone 3 scoreless innings of relief out of the pen.
A little high combio, a little changeup. Not even on the outer half, really off the plate away, but extends his arm very well. Out in front because of the changeup, but stayed through it. Took it over the right field wall.
Pena's thinking, listen, pal, I'm the leadoff hitter, but I can get it out there.
The breeze has calmed down. He did most of that work by himself.
Yes, he did.
We're down to a normal kind of wind out there, and the senior looking to start it back up.
And now Holiday, 7-3 TCU. This team has had such a tremendous year. They've only lost 13 times all season, and as we told you before, arguably they had the toughest road of anybody in the Super Regional because they had to play Texas in Austin, and they beat them 2 out of 3 to get here. You do that, you have earned it. Holloway takes it inside, or Holiday, excuse me. He is a very disciplined hitter. He knows they need base runners, and as much as he wants to go up there hacking, he's got to get a board too. Fouls that one away.
He's so intense and he's so tough, and they really, FSU has been trying to jam him all night. He got plugged on the elbow in his last game because he hangs in there so well. The ball just almost took a bite out of him. And he said there's no way he's going to miss this game. That elbow's fine.
That one's low. Bennett is one of those guys that looks so easy to hit and obviously isn't.
He's very big and deceptively slow for such a big guy throwing the ball. A lot of motion, a lot of knees and elbows coming at you.
Strike 3 called as that breaking ball caught the inside corner. And Holiday has something to say to the home plate umpire on his way to the dugout. Did not care for the call, neither did the TCU bench.
Let's take a look at it. It's a breaking ball. Does it make its way all the way back?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it tries and then it starts backing up. You see the ball at the top, the apex of that breaking ball. All of a sudden it stopped going right to left and started going left to right. Again, just one like that, but just a little bit lower was the last pitch that struck him out on. And you just, you know, in my analysis right here, I'm kind of pulling for the kid because I like him and I love the effort.
I agree.
You just don't want to see a kid like that get hurt on a bad call.
Coach to short, and another error for Cardullo. I think as an infielder, you always want to be moving a little bit, and he was flat-footed and dead still when his ball got there.
Yeah, the one he missed earlier, that one took a bad hop on. The one he missed earlier was a ball that was really well hit, but that one, you see that ball went up and to his right, but he could have maybe kept charging it a little bit more so that hop didn't have quite the distance when it took the bad hop, maybe still be able to get a glove on it.
Curry takes that one outside with Coates at first.
What?
Seminoles win this game with 4 errors. They are going to thank their lucky stars. Usually you can't get away with that against anybody, and that ties the season high for them. Still may come back to bite them.
Well, what drives infielders and grounds crews crazy is fluctuating weather, and they've had hot and rain here, and what that does to the infield dirt is it makes it inconsistent. So you have hard spots and soft spots, and that's when you start to get your bad hops, because if it hits right between the hard and the soft, you get that odd kick.
Mike Martin is going to come out, talk to his pitcher, who was behind 2-0. He has allowed a solo home run here to cut the lead to 7-3, but there are 2 men out.
Well, the last time that he faced Matt Curry, he walked him, and remember we were talking about left-handed hitters with the wind blowing out to right, and you got to pitch him away, and he really pitched around him to get to the right-hander, Joe. How do you pronounce it?
White.
White. Thank you. But here you've got a 4-run lead now. Back then it was only a 2-run lead. I want to go right after this guy with 2 outs, even if he puts one in the bleachers. Yeah, it's tough giving up the home run, but you don't want to set the table here.
Well, you'd have gone after him with a 2-run lead.
I would have a little bit more, but the whole
that's
team
your
going
nature.
after him is you want to go after him in the strike zone early. Once you fall behind, it gets tough because now they're guessing fastball with you. They're going to try and get the head of the bat out and pull it to right field, and now you start pitching on your heels. But you can't pitch and be successful and go 1-0-2-0 an awful lot.
Missed that one badly. 3-0. It was almost like they made up their mind at the meeting that he's not going to get anything to hit.
They did this same exact thing. Battled back to 3-1, walked him the last at bat, and then White came up and hit the line drive to third base to get out of the inning, but he hit the ball very, very well. They got the matchup they wanted, but they didn't get the out they wanted. It was a little too hard.
Curry will draw another walk. Runners at first and second. Now time for our Coke Zero game track as White comes up in a huge situation. Florida State leads by 4, had back-to-back home runs. Johnson, big night for him. And FSU 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position after they went 0 for 13 in the first game. And now we're going to see Kyle Von Tunglen come up as a pinch hitter. He's a freshman from Sugar Land, Texas. Does not have a home run this year, hitting only .237, but they are going for the left-handed factor right now.
He hit against UCLA in this same kind of role and struck out. This is one of the youngsters on the team that they love and he is going to be a cornerstone of their program for the next 2 to 3 years.
And Bennett being more aggressive with him.
Jim Schlossnagle taking his shot right here with 2 guys on, down by 4 with that right field playing short.
Ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Two on, 2 out. 7th inning, a run already home for TCU. Big chance here. And again, errors part of this rally.
Very rarely you see a team commit 4 errors and be leading 7-3.
That's just off the plate on the outside. 2 balls and a strike at 83 miles an hour. So Bennett's not knocking the bat out of their hands.
4 errors and 3 walks and only 3 runs for TCU.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of missed opportunities there.
uncharacteristic for TCU and for the game of baseball.
Up and in, 3-1. Well, he's not trying to walk Von Tunglen, but he might. And Whitty is on deck. He's already had a couple of hits in this ball game. That's foul outside third. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the runners will go. So something in the gap might get 2 home.
Well, you got to believe if you're Von Tunglen that you're going to get something away. They've been working all the lefties away. He just took that ball and fouled it down the third base line. Look away, make sure it's a strike, put a good swing on it. And he did.
And that one had a lot of run on it. Ended up out of the strike zone, and Von Tunglen just got a piece. It's a great name, isn't it? Kyle Von Tunglen.
Yeah.
I'm betting if he doesn't make it as a baseball player, he'd be a blimp pilot.
Okay.
Curveball struck him out. What a beautiful pitch by Bennett. He'd been going away, started that one off the outside and brought it back. Clutch strikeout that gets him out of the inning. Nice job of pitching by Bennett. This ball's fouled out of play by James Ramsey. Ramsey lined out, tripled, and walked.
Pitch.
And there's a beach ball. When we come on camera, the immediate question is, does Kyle plan on or does Oral plan on gaining a little weight in the last 2 innings?
Join us.
Somebody has to. What do we have here from the Creamery?
Carolina Game Crunch premium vanilla ice cream with peanuts and chocolate.
Sounds good.
There was one down here with the take me out to the blot.
Blatt.
That too, Rosenblatt.
What would the blot be?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Tiger bites. The Bruin ruin.
Take me out to the is vanilla ice cream, peanuts, and Cracker Jack.
And cotton candy.
While Mike is doing play-by-play, Ora will be eating ice cream.
Pint after pint after pint of ice cream.
What is the deal to bring us these with no spoon? What is going on around here?
It's just awful.
Let's go. I'm going to find the right flavor, and I better have a spoon quickly.
Here, you can use a pencil.
There we go. We're in good shape now. Good luck, Mike.
Thanks so much. You too. Bottom of the 7th. Ramsey the first out of the inning as he struck out. And now Cardullo, the shortstop, has had a tough night in the field. And when your team leaves Omaha, the Creamery stops making it. That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really cold air. You get eliminated, and so does your flavor. They do that every year. I think it's a neat tradition.
Arizona State, our #1 team, they are gone. So's our #3.
Tell you, most of the national seeds didn't make it here anyhow, and the ones that have not had very much luck. 2-2 to Cardullo. We're in the Florida State half of the 7th inning. Wide to third. Nice stop by Whitty. Got up and pulled the first baseman off the bag. Some effort by Jansen Whitty. That'll be an infield single for Cardullo.
Yeah, Whitty does a great job ranging to his left right here, and he stretches out as far as he can, gets to his feet very quickly, and just barely pulls the throw. But that's half the key, catching it and then getting your feet under it, and just his arm's a little late as he goes to it, so he pulls it with his hand and gets, oh, got it. I'm right with you, big guy. Great effort.
And now they want to come out and talk to Lockwood. Certainly that ball wasn't hard hit. He's done a nice job out of the pen.
They've got action. They're going to go there to the pen.
It is an elimination game. The winner goes on to play UCLA. The loser, unfortunately for them, goes home and will miss the chance to play in the championship series the last year of Rosenblatt. Eric Miller, the third pitcher for TCU out of Georgetown, Texas. He has been a reliever in 18 of 19 games this year, projected as a starter next season. His job right now is to hold them close and hope TCU can come back.
Sinker slider guy, he can touch 92. Right now he needs to use his breaking ball to keep hitters off of him. Doesn't quite have the fastball command that they're looking for, but he'll get that as he matures.
Cardullo at first, a threat to run. There he goes. Bluff to start out the throw back, and they got it. You stray too far against Brian Holiday, and you'd forget it.
Well, he pitch out, which gets him out there where he's got clear vision, so he can be checking out the runner as he's going and not worried about holding a strike. And then he gains ground as he goes towards first base with his stride. The great thing is he has an above average arm, but the feet are what you have to watch. He turned himself so quickly to reposition from second to first base. That's what he gained the step on the runner and got the out.
And Curry gets a perfect throw, holding that glove just off the ground, just on the inside of the bag, and he put it right there. So all he has to do is drop it.
A lot of guys, the position change guys, they go back behind the plate because they're a little heavy-legged. This guy's so athletic and so quick. Look, he looks like a middle infielder making that play. He's played third base before. He's asked the coach to play shortstop.
He wants to catch in the pros. Loves the idea of being involved, but he said, obviously, I'll play wherever I can play. Chop to third. Whitty guns it across. Florida State gets a base hit, but the pickoff erases him. And Holiday is involved in everything. Watch the hustle on this ground ball. I mean, if the runner's going to beat it out, so's he. And even though it's available on all those platforms, some people have to go to work, and I'm sure you couldn't see it and wanted to. So it'll be on tonight. This is Jeff Parker, the big junior out of Dade City, 6'3", 249, with a 4-1 record. And he's going to come on to try to shut down TCU.
Max effort type guy. Fastball, curveball, changeup. He can get it into the mid-90s. He's a ninth round pick from Colorado Rockies.
Six, 7, 8 in the order for TCU. They need to get back to the top of the lineup to make a serious run here, down by 4 runs. Whitty is 2 for 3, a couple of base knocks.
It's getting late in the day, and it's getting late in the game for TCU. 6 outs.
What a job their athletic department has done. I mean, their football program has really taken off in recent years. Now the baseball program bidding to join that, as far as just having great success. And you love to see programs build that way. Got some really nice kids. And very talented kids as well. Down to third, off of the third baseman Johnson. That ball was scorched. Johnson didn't have a chance. Kyle, how about this TCU program?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, Mike. I mean, you look at the job that Jim Schlossnagle's done since he got here. He took the job 7 years ago. When he got there, TCU had not made a regional appearance since 1994. Since he's been there, they haven't missed it. 7 straight years they've been in the postseason. And he came from UNLV, left after he won 47 games in 2003. He said he took the job because they just wanted to be good. Eric Hyman was the AD at the time. He's now at South Carolina.
This one will go to the screen, and Whitty goes to second.
They built a brand new stadium. Lupton Stadium was built in 2002. His wife Cammie's family was from Dallas, so it was natural to take his family back there. And UNLV was very good about it. He still had time left on his contract. They said, we understand. You're going back close to your family. We know it's a great opportunity. But, guys, he literally has built this program. If this is it and TCU goes home today, still quite an accomplishment for him. First time they've been here to Omaha. And remember, they still get the left-hander Matt Pert back next year. So if they don't go on and win this thing, right, get a pretty good chance to come back again next year.
He said he just wanted his kids to have the chance to come here before Rosenblatt closed, and he got them here. And, of course, that was not his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal is to win the whole thing. But he at least accomplished that part of it so far. Featherston at the plate had a huge hit the other night when he tripled with the bases loaded. Now he's facing Parker and that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He'll be back next year, a sophomore from Houston. That one's in the dirt.
No!
You know, people are starting to care about your program when you're Jim Schlossnagle and you're getting emails about what the team's doing, how they're going, good or bad. You're getting emails, and now people care and they're reaching out. And they've reached a school record of 52 wins. And you know how he did it, really get over the top? He actually had to relax a few rules because he was so rule-oriented and discipline-oriented.
Chop back up the middle. Gloved by Cardulo, but he can't make a play. Featherston hustled down the line to beat it out. First and third, nobody out. Another big hit for Featherston. The bottom of the order doing its job, trying to make something happen here in the 8th.
Hit the ball hard, get an error, hit the ball soft, but hit it in the right place, get the big hop. And hit the firm part of the infield with all this rain. He got 2 good hops to get that infield single.
It was a heck of an effort by Cardullo. His momentum is taking him away from the play, and the throw he made still almost got him.
Yep.
Now Mike Martin will make that slow walk to talk to Parker. Tell him what he wants.
Well, I'll tell you what he wants. Disregard the runner on third. We'll take a 3-run lead coming out of this inning. We have no outs. Let's just go for the double play ball. Forget about the runner on third. Get me the hitter out. And if we get a double play, that's extra special.
With the mistakes that Florida State has made in this ball game so far, I think it's really important for everybody on that field to remind themselves they got to throw to the right base. They have to hit the cutoff man, and they have to do the right things down here in the stretch. The NCAA.com, your official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. They will keep you up to date on everything about the College World Series here in Omaha, Nebraska. TCU fans fired up. Aaron Schultz, the center fielder, stands in. Even though he's a little guy, has home run power, and the wind not nearly the factor it was earlier. Still blowing to right, but only about 5 miles an hour.
Had a good at bat. His last at bat lined out to center field, but was all over the pitch. He's seeing the ball well.
Featherston at first, Whitty at third. Breaking pitch in the air to straightaway center. Holt had a little trouble finding it, makes the catch. They're going to have to hold the runner at third. There's no sense to send him on a close play, and that's the first out of the inning. Runners have to hold at first and third. I think the pressure is more on Florida State right now. They have seen over the years so many bizarre things happen to them in their bid to stay alive in the College World Series. Sometimes in the back of your mind it's what can happen next, and they do not want to be in that mindset.
Especially when you've already made 5 errors.
Rivera takes that one low. 5 errors, that is amazing. And they've got a 4-run lead.
The defense is representing a Hollander right now.
1 ball, no strikes to Brance Rivera, the 6'3" sophomore. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Parker's got some weapons.
Got a big arm, and he's a max effort guy, and it's really all about command. And the way you see the movement on his ball and his breaking ball, he really doesn't need to aim for the corners, aim more the middle of the plate and let it work to the edges.
Chase the breaking pitch, 1-2. They were down 4 runs against Oral Roberts in March. They came back to win at 6-4. That was their biggest deficit. They are down by 4 right now.
52-13. You are not used to losing.
No. That was a curveball that stayed in the strike zone. Pretty hittable pitch. And Rivera would like another hack at that one.
And he stayed down and threw that ball so well that when he fouled it off, he didn't know where the ball was. He didn't know if he hit it fair or foul. He was concentrating so much, staying on it.
First and third with 1 out. 1-2 to Rivera. In the dirt, 2-2.
Now Parker has thrown his fastball mainly away and has been pulling it. The breaking ball so far is the pitch that's gotten him the outs, and they're going to talk it over. They've thrown like 4 breaking balls in a row right here. He might have something going on with his arm. He's motioning with his elbow like something's happening.
Boy, that's the last thing they'd like to see.
Yeah, I think is the pitching elbow. Saw a motion from the home plate umpire, like he's got some tenderness there.
Yeah. If he is hurt, whoever would come in his place would have as long as he wants to warm up, but this would be.
I think it's going to be the left fielder.
Yeah, that's going to be McGee.
Mr. McGee.
But it's a big blow because Parker has been a really good guy out of the bullpen, really good setup man, and you just hate to see it for him that something happened to that throwing arm.
Oh no.
It looks like swelling in his arm already.
Like that, doggone it.
Yeah, and all pitchers can relate to that.
You just don't want to see this. And I mean, this strikes home for me. My son went through Tommy John surgery. He's now just had his labrum repaired in his shoulder. So anytime you see somebody walk off the mound, that is not a good sign.
Big hand for Parker. Well, we wish him the best. Hope that is not as serious as it looks. Now you're going to get Mike McGee to come in at a left field, and Sean Gilmartin will take his place in left.
Mike McGee has 13 saves this year. This is the 6th time this year that he has hit a home run in a game and then come in to pitch. And I'll tell you what, he's already done it here at the College World Series to get him to this game.
Gilmartin left, getting a little warm-up action.
He gets all he wants, right? He gets all he wants. Thank you.
Mike McGee will get all the warm-up pitches he wants because he came in because of an injury. And you know, we talked about on Monday how he got a home run against Florida and also came in and beat the arch rivals by getting the save at the end of the game. He was absolutely outstanding. They've gone to him in all the situations this year to hit number 3, play left field.
Against Florida, the home run. Just got into the left field seats and then comes into the ball game and saves it. It has not been an unfamiliar spot for him. 13 saves this year to go with a 4-0 record and a very stingy 1.33 ERA. He is not an overpowering guy, but he's been very effective. There's the home run against a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and now he is in looking for his 14th and biggest save of the year. The 41st round draft choice of the Diamondbacks, first team all conference, finalist for the two-way player of the year award. And that draft position tells you that they do not project him as a closer.
He was third-team All-American as a right-handed pitcher, not as a left fielder. But you think two-way guys like Buster Posey, of course, in 2008 with FSU, Timmy Hudson.
He inherits a 2-2 count against Rivera. The situation, first and third. Breaking pitch, ripped, foul. Boy, Rivera was primed and ready to go.
Well, he had to be with those 2 strikes, and he got a breaking ball, but it was left on the plate. McGee comes in and says, all right, we're up by 4. I'm coming right after you. He will pitch with that slider like it's a fastball.
Rivera, pretty good average hitter for somebody in the 9 hole. Towards short. Force at second on to first. Not in time. Run scores. It was close, but Rivera kept the inning alive, hustling down the line. Whitty scored from third to make it 7-4.
That's a good two-hopper with some topspin. They do a good job, but the speedy Rivera beats it out. It's just good for FSU to get one. The way the infield defense has been going tonight, you got to make sure of one right there.
That's right. Any ball hit tonight scares you a little bit.
Make sure you get an out.
Rivera at first, now for Pena.
Ball.
And Pena jacked one the last time up. If he could do it again, he'd cut it to a one-run game. Batting left-handed this time, and the wind is to his advantage. And he's got more power from this side of the plate, which he showed you the last time.
If he hits one here, they'll all have mohawks.
Immediately.
If they move on.
The rally caps are on. The lead has been cut to 3. Missed badly. They didn't want any part of Pena. Guess who's up? Brian Holiday, the heart and soul of this ball club. The guy who has been so good his entire career. And he's never come up in a bigger situation that he's got right now.
Brian at the plate and Mike on the mound. Both these teams have relied on these two individuals to get here, to carry them emotionally. A left fielder and a closer and a starting catcher senior that hustles and leads your team. The only thing we're missing is the 9th inning. It's the 8th.
One superstar against another. Breaking pitch for a called strike.
Could be his last collegiate at bat, but right now he's bearing down one pitch at a time. And the wind has calmed down. The flags are blown straight down, so left field is open.
Could be the last time McGee pitches. A lot of could-be's at work. Tying run at the plate, line drive, left field line. That gets down for a double. That'll get one run home. Holiday trying to get to second, and he just got in there. Holy cow. Strong throw from left. Gilmartin got it in, and Holiday barely beat it for a double.
Well, he does it all down there. He came out and he gave his left hand on the slide at second and then tagged the bag with his right after he pulled it back. He rakes this ball. If he gets under it a little more, it is the 3-run homer we were looking for. The ball comes into the cutoff man, goes over to second. He's out timing-wise, but he gives his left hand and throws the right. We look at the hustle. If he does not bust out of the box, he will be out at second for sure. Watch this slide. Left hand, oh, no, pull it back and go with the right.
It's a great deke.
It was fantastic.
What a ball game this has turned into. 7-5. The tying runs aboard, and Holiday, the superstar, has come through. Coates can tie the game with a base hit. Holiday is not fast by any means, but you saw how smart that slide was. I saw that kind of slide for the first time about a month ago on a Major League Baseball telecast. I thought it was one of the coolest things I ever saw, because now when an infielder puts that glove down there, you can actually beat him with that slide. You're going to make him tag you instead of just lay the glove in front of the bag. For the 5 runs in this game unearned because of FSU mistakes. They will be very fortunate to escape here with all the errors they have committed tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jason Coates. 5 big errors. A lot of the fans here have adopted TCU as their team. McGee wanted him to chase, couldn't do it. 3-2 with the tying runs aboard.
Don't be surprised if you get a breaking ball here with first base open and the tying run on second base. You're not just going to give in if you're Mike McGee with a fastball.
Matt Curry, the left-handed power hitter, is on deck.
I think the adoption is final. We got a standing O right now.
Oh, boy. Breaking pitches low, they're loaded.
They're on their feet, Mike.
Yes, they are. Matt Curry with the most power in this lineup. 17 home runs, 60 driven in. The wind is just a zephyr now to right, but he doesn't need wind to get it out there. Curry can launch all by himself against the closer, Mike McGee. Fastball misses. There's no place to put it. Well, we said a couple innings ago TCU was flat, and not flat anymore. A ball and a strike to Curry. Pena is at third. Holiday, who had that big double at second. Coates, who just walked at first. Remember, Holiday doesn't have great speed, so on a single, if the ball's hit sharply, we could have a play at the plate. Some pretty good arms for Florida State. Swing and a miss, strike 2. This is why we love coming to Omaha. We see a big comeback somewhere along the road every single year. Is this it? Is this the inning that keeps TCU alive? In the dirt, nice block by Lopez. Great technique, got his shoulders forward and made sure that ball didn't go anywhere. Sort of smothered it right in front of the plate. A pitcher's best friend is a catcher that knows how to block balls in the dirt.
Especially with a man on third.
2-2, bases loaded, 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Oh, man. Now everybody's up. FSU and TCU alike on their feet. Curry at the plate, McGee on the mound. Crushed to dead center field. Holt. It's gone. Grand slam. Holy cow, what a shot! Boy, he knew it when it left the bat, didn't he? And that baby was out of here by a mile. And McGee, who has been so successful saving games and winning games, can't measure up here. TCU at one point was down 7-2. Now they're up 9-7. And you know how they feel in the FSU dugout. That's Coach Schlossnagel's family. That may be the happiest moment of their collective lives right now. Home run number 18 for Matt Curry.
It is their largest come from behind victory. They've had 14. The biggest one was 4.
What a time to have it. Josh Elander will hit for Von Tunglen.
Matt Curry picked on a 3-2 little hanging slider. He was in between on the fastball. Mike McGee couldn't get the fastball in there on the 2-2 pitch. He left it high and away. Earlier in the at-bat, Curry had swung through a fastball. He went with his number 1 pitch, his out pitch, the slider, but it was just a basic strike, and Curry, he planted it.
This one by Elander is smoked into left center field, cut off by Tyler Holt. And the freshman from Round Rock, Texas, has a base hit. 9 men have come to the plate in this, the bottom of the 8th. And they're thinking, we are staying in Omaha. But Florida State still has a chance to hit in the 8th and 9th. We're not done. But it is going to take an awful lot for the Seminoles to get themselves up off the floor after this. That's going to be a psychological test.
Well, they've got 6 outs, and they still got to get some outs here.
8 of 9 runs unearned, and they would have only themselves to blame if they eventually lose this game with the 5 errors. Whitty.
You think about Jim Schlossnagel's son Jackson. He was playing catch in front of the dugout with his dad. Now he's got his mom Cammie right there, going crazy with that grand slam. What a memory for that young man.
You think he'll remember this?
Oh my gosh, he'll be a baseball fan forever.
He's lucky enough to live to about 85 or 90, and he's got his great grandchildren gathered around. He says, you know, I remember a day back in Omaha at the old stadium. When I was going absolutely nuts because this happened. Scantling will come on in relief of McGee, who was shelled. And here's the way the brackets look. UCLA, the only undefeated team in this bracket. TCU and Florida State each at 1-1. Florida's gone. And in the other bracket, Clemson is the undefeated team. Oklahoma and South Carolina still have to play on Thursday night. And remember, 18 of the 20 years that they've had this format, the 2-0 team has won 18 of 20. Hunter Scantling, big kid, 6'8", 270, out of Jacksonville, Florida. He's 3-2 with a 4.30 ERA.
Well, Mike McGee stays in left, so they will lose their DH. But Mike is a very, very good hitter, but they'll have some pinch hitters probably.
Sure.
They come around.
And what a big disappointment it's got to be for him.
But you can't take him out of the game. He's your 3-hole hitter.
Absolutely. And all he's thinking is, give me another chance to get up there and do some damage with a bat.
And this goes back, remember, Ryan Holiday's slide at second base. This inning could have been over with him trying to stretch that hit into a double. But he gives the left hand and takes it away and gets in there with the right. You know, you get out here and you start falling in love with these kids, and I feel bad for McGee.
Absolutely.
And there's no lonelier place than to be a pitcher and have to go play left field compared to being able to go on the bench and get in the dugout where nobody can be around you.
Scantling misses outside.
The great thing was the fans, when he came out there, were giving him a standing ovation, kind of in support. They were pounded on the wall out there, and they were actually just trying to support the young man.
Ball.
That one's inside. Scantling looks like the mound's too small for him. I mean, he's that big.
He's a big guy.
Fastball hit to deep left by Whitty, and that thing's out of here by a mile. The carnage continues. Whitty had only hit 3 home runs all year long. He looked like Babe Ruth on that one.
High fastball comes in. He makes a good swing on it. And boy, he just got a lot of aluminum on this one. Whew, that bat's hot. It's white hot if you're TCU.
Candy can't believe it. Cammy, excuse me.
That's all right.
Holy cow. 11-7. At one point they were down 7-2. Whitty started the inning, reached on an error. This is the 11th man to bat in the inning. Featherston has already singled. Boy, and the Seminoles just want to get out of this and grab a bat. Fly ball to the left, late start by McGee, but the shortstop Cardullo is out to take it. What an inning for TCU. There is the big shot of the inning. Matt Curry just annihilates one to center field. A grand slam home run. And TCU has come from far, far behind. They have the lead in the 8th. Well, what a day for sports. This has been a remarkable game here. 8 runs in the 8th, 4 coming on Curry's grand slam to get TCU on top 11-7. We had the World Cup. We had Wimbledon.
We still have Wimbledon tomorrow.
Sorry we ran out of major events for you. Caleb Merck will come on for TCU. And Stuart Tapley will be the pinch hitter for Florida State. Tapley, a .273 hitter on the year. Takes a strike call. He has been slumping lately, had been the DH most of the year, but really struggled down the stretch. Struck out a lot.
Ball.
That one just missed. If you're a Florida State player, how do you pick yourself up off the deck after that?
It's from the cliche, one pitch at a time. You look at the body of the work today and you start probably thinking we deserve to lose with the 5 errors, with the lack of strikes at times, pitching around left-handed hitters continuously because of avoiding the right field wind. But really, the 5 errors are the key. You just can't give people 4 outs.
You can't give them 4 outs that many times.
No.
3-2 to Tapley. Fastball down the right field line. And tracked down by Rivera in right. 1 out in the Florida State 8th. Well, we told you the TCU team had been adopted by the neutral fans here in Omaha. They are celebrated as they travel around the city. Boy, they have increased their reputation by yet another notch on the ladder.
Well, they talked about how beating Texas in Austin, the distraction and the hard part was inside the stadium, not out. Well, and the distraction here in Omaha is out, not in. Well, it just got bigger outside this ballpark.
Devin Travis gets a base hit. Florida State needs base runners. Travis gets a single through the right side. And you think about Mike Martin when he made the field out here, people were thinking, wouldn't this be great? You know, I mean, not that you're rooting for anybody in particular, but it would be wonderful for college baseball if Mike Martin wins the last College World Series at Rosenblatt. And they're not done yet.
They're not, but you look across the field then at Jim Schlossnagle, who said, if I couldn't get a team here before this stadium was gone, I would have been physically ill.
Right.
And he is so glad to be here too. So there are so many stories about why people want to come here and then why they want to win. It's hard to figure out who to pull for.
And I'm not intimating that it wouldn't be great if TCU didn't win or if Clemson didn't win, or
just relaying what you know and what you have seen, and you know what's in the hearts and minds of these players and coaches.
It is just such a great event. This one's popped up, but it's going to reach the stands.
But these are the darlings. TCU are the darlings of this city right now. I have never seen, I've been coming here 5 years, you've been coming here a lot longer, I have never seen in concert the stands rise and give a standing ovation in the midst of one team or the other's pep rally.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked out left or right, and everybody was standing.
It's a great point.
And it wasn't just purple that was standing.
That's right. Lopez just got a piece. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rafael, who was 0 for 3, struck out twice and lined out. Inside the first base bag, just off the glove of Curry. And the Seminoles, boy, hats off to them. They're not going to go quietly. Lopez with a big base hit, hit it hard. And they're 1 base hit away from having the tying run come to the plate.
How big is the Josh Elander home run right now?
Oh, huge.
They were only down by 2. And now that ground ball gets through right here and things start to spiral the other way.
And they're back to the top of the order, and Tyler Holt to be followed by Johnson and McGee. And you can bet that McGee is just saying, give me a chance. Get the bases loaded and get me up there. What a ball game.
It's just...
Yeah, it's not like 59-59 apiece at Wimbledon in the 5th set yet.
Let's just hold off here.
It could be 59-59 in the 35th inning.
Yep.
Tyler Holt out of Gainesville, Florida, the home of the Gators. He was someone who was not particularly aligned to his hometown team. Had gone to one of the camps for Florida State as a youngster. Wanted to go there. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Holiday. Nobody advances.
Funny story that Mike Martin talked about them is when they play Florida. Nobody wanted to come off the bus with him. Nobody wanted to go on the field with him.
Viewed as a traitor when they went back.
There was a lot of venom there back with Gatorville.
Absolutely. A ball and no strikes to Holt. Sherman Johnson with home run power is on deck. 2-0 to Holt. There's Sherman. And this is Caleb Merck, the sophomore from Keller, Texas. 3 saves, a 2-1 record. And how about this for an earned run average? 1.01. He's got backup working. Marshall. Just in case. But Merck, who can get that fastball up around 94 when he pushes it, is trying to be the hero here. Fastball high, and they are loaded. Sherman Johnson has been on base every time tonight. He has walked, singled, and homered. Yikes.
Game on. Represents the tying run.
I got to admit, this is a surprise. After the 8 runs that TCU got, I would have thought anybody would go quietly. Sherman Johnson with the big cut. This was earlier, back in the first, with the wind blowing out to right. Not that he needed it. Deposited about 10 rows deep in the stands. He's hit 10 on the year. 11 would be the biggest hit of his college career. Fastball is low. A ball and a strike, and the Seminoles, maybe this is why they have come out. 19 times this year they have come from behind and won.
To get to Omaha, you have to do a lot of magical things, and they both have.
Strike called on Johnson. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Jackson, Cammy still going at it up there. They go from elation to the edge of their seats.
To say this is gut-wrenching is an understatement for both teams tonight. Emotions have gone from the highest highs to the lowest lows, and we're not done. Still only 1 out, and the big gun Mike McGee is on deck. Time run at the plate. Just got a piece to stay alive. With 2 strikes, is Johnson thinking shorter swing, make contact, key to play, or is he thinking let's be a hero and jack one out of here?
He's thinking put a good swing on it because he's got the natural power just to get there, so he just wants to get a hit and hit it solid. He'll be surprised if he hits a home run, but he'll be awfully happy if he does.
Got it in on the hands and fought it off. That was a really good pitch by Caleb Merck. Devin Travis down at third, the freshman. Rafael Lopez, the number 9 hitter, at second, and Tyler Holt with all that speed at first. Got some guys on there that can run right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sherman Johnson. Merck got him with a fastball.
The home run he hit was a fastball up, but this one beats him to the spot. Behind in the count, trying to make sure it's a strike. It's not, but it's in a place where it's hard to take and hard to catch up to.
Now here's McGee, who was victimized as the closer coming in and roughed up in the previous inning. McGee with 17 home runs. #1 on the club, #1 in RBIs, #1 in big hits. He has been clutch all year. Beautiful pitch by Caleb Merck, who's ahead 0-2. Merck's pitching like this is just a Saturday afternoon in the park.
Well, he is not afraid of throwing strikes.
No, he's not. That's how he got a 1.01 ERA. Tried to get him to chase, and another good block by Holiday. Apparently, you can throw anything up there to Holiday, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the nickname backstop for a catcher fits in perfectly.
Haven't had 2 grand slams since 1998. That was Arizona State and Southern Cal. Another one here would tie it. Breaking pitch just missed. Merck wanted that so much. But it looked like it did miss the strike zone. It was a good call.
It was outside.
But boy, that's tough to take.
Well, I think it's a great call by the umpire to not get caught up in the emotions of the game and ring him up.
Absolutely. 2-2. McGee represents the tying run. Fastball fisted. Caught by the second baseman Pena. And Caleb Merck gets out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 8th. What an exceptional pitching performance by the sophomore from Keller, Texas. We'll go to the 9th in a 4-run game.
Okay.
Welcome back to Omaha, Nebraska. It has been a wild game. 11-7 TCU over Florida State.
I'll tell you what, that 8th was quite a comeback, and the heart and soul of their team started with a big hit and ended this with a great slide. This double and the way it drove the run in and the way he got into second base without making that 3rd out. Then this home run by Curry was absolutely amazing. That really put him on top, and then when Josh Eland hit this one, that was insurance. They were already up by 2, now up by 4, and that's an amazing comeback for an 8th inning by TCU. Jim Schlossnagel right there is head to us. There's Brian Holiday, 16. That bench was lit up in the 8th.
How thrilled they have to be. I mean, just beside themselves with joy. And you got to be happy for them. I mean, it's been a magical year for them. It's been a magical run for their program. And they seem to be such genuinely nice people. Scott Seitz, S-I-T-Z, freshman out of Jacksonville Beach, Florida, is on to pitch. He's 5-0 this year. He's pitched 38 2/3 innings.
If you pitch that much as a freshman, you're going to be a big part of this club. And Mike Martin has brought somebody to Omaha 14 times, so you're planning on it when you go to FSU to come back here.
TCU will hit in the 9th.
Yes, he did.
We'll start with the number 8 man, Aaron Schultz. Then Rivera, and back to the top of the order to Jerome Pena. Schultz has worn the collar tonight, 0 for 4. First 7 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits, and in the 8th they just exploded. And what kind of confidence, World, does that give a team going forward? I mean, when you make that big a comeback that late in the game, you've got to think, hey, maybe it's destiny. Maybe we can win this thing just because it's our time.
Yeah, we saw that with the Oregon Beavers. We've seen them in years past.
Fresno State.
Fresno State, absolutely amazing the way they were patched together and hurt and still got it done. You never feel like you're out of it, especially when you got somebody like Brian Holiday, a senior leader behind the plate, still pushing the troops. It's got to be music to Jim Schlossnagel's ears when you got a catcher right behind you yelling at your team.
Yes, sir. Schultz draws a base on balls. Well, you got to be thinking now, you know, a couple more runs would really be nice.
You see the facial hair there on Brian? That wasn't allowed on Jim's teams in the past. You know, he used it as a motivational tool. He said, you guys can have that if you get a 3-point grade point average.
As a team.
As a team. And so that's why you see the facial hair on them now. In the years past, you haven't. Even a freshman. The freshman ace that they're going to rely on right there's got one working.
I think you could grow hair halfway down your back now.
Time! Time!
Time was called before that pitch.
Yeah, TCU goes on to win right here. We'll probably see Perk on Friday against UCLA. And if you're UCLA, you'd probably rather see FSU than Perk.
Absolutely. I mean, he is a terrific pitcher, but then UCLA is loaded with pitching. Up and in. Boy, he doesn't bunt that ball, he takes it in the chops.
You're Rob Trajan.
The thing about Perk is that he came in for orientation to TCU. He did not even pack clothes. He thought he was going to sign. He was drafted #1 by the Texas Rangers, Nolan Ryan. Texas didn't come up with enough money to sign him. So 4 minutes after 11, which is 4 minutes after midnight East Coast time, he calls Jim Schlossnagel and says, Coach, you still got room for me? I didn't sign. I think Jim found room quickly.
Yeah, we'll make room.
He's out.
There's the bunt by Rivera. Nice sacrifice. Gets Schultz down to second. Here's what the undefeated freshman did against Florida State on Saturday. 4 singles, gave up an unearned run in 7 innings. TCU scored 5 times in the first. It was a laugher for them. They went on to win 8-1 in the opening game of the College World Series.
That looked like a undisciplined, not compact Randy Johnson. That breaking ball and that loose arm being cocked behind that body. Slender, tall lefty, not quite as tall as Randy, but that is that turbo breaking ball.
Really got some skills. And almost anybody that UCLA will trot out there on Friday would make this a great pitching matchup. You could almost guarantee that one won't be 11-7.
You got Rob Rasmussen, who hasn't pitched yet, their #3 starter. You got Trevor Bauer, who pitched game 1.
Could go back to him.
And then Garrett Cole will be there in case they lose. But Garrett Cole beat TCU 6-3 and threw the ball fantastic.
Back that elbow now, ready?
But the UCLA got here on their pitching and scrappy West Coast offense. And it's going to be tough for either one of these two teams, and it's looking like TCU to get through UCLA in 2 games because of the outstanding pitching.
Pena has reached twice tonight with a walk and a home run. That one is skied to shallow right. And Ramsey comes on and calls off Devin Travis. That's the 2nd out of the inning. And now Holiday will get another chance to hit.
Thank you.
Florida State just trying to get out of this inning with no more damage and get that last at bat in the bottom of the 9th inning and make their own comeback. They had their chance in the last inning. They had the bases loaded, couldn't come through. Caleb Burke did an outstanding pitching job for TCU. Skies it toward right. Ramsey with plenty of room. He'll make the catch. They strand 1. 4, 5, 6 coming up for Florida State in the bottom of the 9th. The last chance for the Seminoles. Bottom of the 8th, Brian Holiday's trick slide for TCU. Give him an arm and take it away. Set up the grand slam for Matt Curry that was bombed over the center field wall. The big shot of the inning of an 8-run 8th to get TCU on top. And what a memorable sports day. The USA wins Group C in the World Cup. Wimbledon, the longest match ever played, and it's not over. They'll start again tomorrow, the 3rd day of that match. And TCU down 7-2 at one point, puts up 8 in the 8th. Yikes. Mike Martin, last shot, bottom of the 9th. He's brought a team out here 14 times. Florida State as a school 20 times. Never won it. But I guarantee you one thing, if they don't win it this year, he'll be back with a team at the new stadium. That's what he does. He produces quality baseball players. Ramsey will lead it off. And Caleb Merck, who was brilliant in the 8th, will start the bottom of the 9th against Ramsey, the sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia. Hit to deep center field. Schultz retreating, has room. 1 gone.
The one thing that Caleb Merck has done, he came into a pressure cooker and he settled everybody down. He's done it by throwing strikes. He has not backed down and tried to work the edges. I'm coming right after you.
Yeah.
If you beat me, you're going to beat me when I'm throwing strikes. Another one.
He just attacks.
He's got a big arm. He's got a lot of life on it. He trusts it. It doesn't matter if it's down the middle. He's coming after you.
Steven Cardullo with Boyd on deck. Another fly to center field, going back. Schultz, 2 gone. It'll be tough for Jimmy Schultz not to track it down.
And you got a guy out there with a glove that can trust your defense. Let him do the work.
It's all up to Jace Boyd with 2 out and nobody on. Here's our Capital One player of the game, the author of the grand slam, Matt Curry. Couldn't hit it much harder. They'll try anything in that Seminole dugout right now. Fouled out of play. And Merck is just going after everybody. There's no finesse in this kid. 0-2. Breaking pitch, grounded to short. Featherston got him. It's over. TCU with a huge comeback win. Some ball game.
Absolutely amazing. You don't want anybody to go home, but you have an elimination game. They both played their heart and soul out, but as far as the heart and soul, Matt Curry with the grand slam, and I'll tell you what, Brian Holiday behind the plate led these guys, made a fantastic slide at second base after a big hit and kept the inning going.
Don't forget Merck. Merck was huge.
Yeah. Caleb Merck on the mound, kept throwing strikes. Tough, mental, let's go. And the Cinderella adopted team of Omaha is going to move on.
Yes, they are.